All right, hello there, everybody. Welcome to the live stream covering the Disney panel for CinemaCon. Now, I am also I'm trying something new with this stream. I'm experimenting with doing a stream regularly like this, vertically, but also streaming vertically for YouTube Shorts. So I'm also going to start that stream. Now, this is a test, like I said. If anything goes wrong or it's lagging in any way, please let me know. And I'll just cut the YouTube short stream and keep the regular stream going. So let me go live on YouTube Shorts as well. But yeah, how's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is having a good day. Hopefully everyone's week has gone well. For those of you that were in the other stream, hopefully you guys are doing well. But yeah, today is CinemaCon, the last day of CinemaCon, and it's the Disney panel for CinemaCon. Going into this panel, do not expect any massive news, massive announcements, or any trailers for the public. What you should expect here is just minor updates on things. So a Doomsday, just like maybe it's going well, and footage for people in attendance. This is not a convention for the general public. It is a convention for people in the industry, movie theater owners, journalists, social media influencers, etc. So it's not necessarily for people like you and me. It's not necessarily about releasing stuff to the public. Now, there are a couple movies, a couple projects throughout the panels that have released trailers to the public, but it's been nothing super major. There's a non-zero chance that the Avengers Doomsday trailer drops today, which is the reason why I'm doing this stream. I typically don't do a live stream for CinemaCon because I don't like doing streams for conventions that typically won't have much news, because I don't want people to get overly excited and then disappointed. But on the off chance that the Avengers Doomsday trailer does release publicly today, I'm doing the stream, and I also just wanted to test some things, test streaming normally and to YouTube Shorts at the same time, and also just have a little bit more momentum on this channel for when I hopefully start uploading videos again in a couple months here. Now, I'm also unfortunately a little congested, so I'll try to mute my mic every time I need to blow my nose or whatnot, but if I forget, I apologize. But also, if I go mute for a couple seconds, like I'm about to do after I finish the sentence, I haven't gone anywhere, your stream hasn't crashed or lagged, I'm just simply blowing my nose and don't want you guys to hear it. But yeah, I typically go live about 30 minutes before the panel starts. That way people have time to get in here and find the stream. And also people have, if people want to, stay around and chat and hang out and whatnot, then yeah. So let's go to the live chats here. Also, for people on the YouTube Shorts, though that concurrent viewers just jumped up exponentially right now. Hello. What's going on? How are you guys doing? It's my first time ever doing a live stream on YouTube Shorts, so if it's a little rough around the edges, I apologize. This is half the reason why I'm doing this stream is to test this. I have a link. I'm also streaming horizontally, in full screen, so if you want to migrate there for whatever reason, the link to it is in the pinned comment and also in the description. But welcome to everybody watching. We had 25 people on the main stream. We got 39 people, or now 24 people on the YouTube Shorts. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. But let's. I try to manage both of these chats. Like I said, if it's rough around the edges, I apologize. First time doing this, but we'll make it work. What's going on? Eternal and Cooper Goats over on the mainstream side of things. Sethy Poo and Annie Foon. Nice to have you as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Will you show what's happening or just talk about it? So there is no live stream for the panel itself. What I am going to do is pull up a couple of Twitter feeds for people that are in attendance to the panel, and what they do is they're going to pretty much live tweet what's happening at the panel. So the news, the footage, And if any trailers do release publicly, we'll pull them up and watch them. I've done this for years, and it's worked well. People have enjoyed it, so that is that's what we're doing here. What's up, Cooper Goats? Nice to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you've been doing well. Sethy Poo, what's going on, man? Iani Fong, what do you want to see in the trailer? It's honestly more so what I don't want to see in the trailer. I really like if I wasn't doing these streams, if I didn't have this YouTube channel, I would try everything in my power to avoid the trailer whatsoever. I would like to go into Doomsday with as little footage seen as possible. Now, it's probably going to be a pretty long movie. It's likely going to be roughly 3 hours. So, regardless of any footage being released, it'll likely, the trailers probably won't spoil much, if anything. I want to see as much Cyclops as possible, though. He's my favorite Marvel character, so love to see as much of him as possible. Part of me wants to say I would like to see Doom just to see him, but another part of me, says that I don't want to see Doctor Doom fully for the first time. And until I'm there in person, on the big screen. There's nothing really I want to see, honestly. Like, maybe just more looks at the characters in costume, like Nightcrawler, seeing glimpses of just the Fantastic Four and all of them in costume, perhaps. There's nothing really I overly want to see, to be honest. What do you guys want to see? Let me know in the chats what you guys would like to see in the Doomsday trailer. That, again, might not be today. I have seen a lot of people on social media say that the trailer is dropping today. That's not true, okay? There has not been any public confirmation that we, the public, are going to be getting the trailer released today. It is very likely that the people in attendance to this panel will see some sort of footage for Avengers Doomsday. That does not mean that they're releasing the trailer today. I personally do not think we're going to see the trailer today, us, the public. I think that the first trailer will be released at Comic-Con. So we'll see. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to be doing a live stream for Comic-Con anyway, as I usually do. So if you guys are just tuning into the channel for the first time, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss that live stream that I do for San Diego Comic-Con, for Marvel and DC, and also for D23 later this year as well. But I'm not expecting a trailer today. It'd be great if we get one, but if we don't, I think that's fine. I'm still here chatting with you guys, and we're having a good time. What's up, Hassan? Nice to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Says, what are your expectations for it? My expectations are extremely low. My expectations are just some updates on projects coming out within the next 12 months and projects that are filming within the next 12 months, maybe. I don't think we're going to get any casting news about the MCU X-Men or whatnot, and I don't really think we're going to get any announcements for any MCU movies post Secret Wars. As far as I'm aware, there's only one movie scheduled for next year, right? And it's Secret Wars. Please correct me if I'm wrong there. If there's still something scheduled for next year between Doomsday and Secret Wars, then maybe something on that, perhaps. But that as well, we'll see. We'll see. Cooper Goats and Marshmallow are both saying that they are allowing pictures and videos for this panel. Very interesting. That is very interesting. Great for us, because we get to see these pictures and videos that we never get to see during these panels. That is very rare. If this is true, that is very rare that they are releasing or letting people in attendance take pictures and videos. That rarely happens. Maybe we do get something. I don't want to get my hopes up or your hopes up in any way, but that is, all I'm going to say is that's really interesting. All right, that is very interesting. Let's not get our hopes up in any way, one way or the other, but that is really interesting if true. Appreciate both of you letting me know about that. That's, well, thank you, Raza. Honestly, like I said, I don't want to get any of our hopes up. Don't want to get any of our hopes up, but that is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. For those of you that are joining us on the YouTube Shorts, how does the audio sound? Can you hear me? Can you hear the background music? Like I said earlier, this is my first time ever doing a live stream on YouTube Shorts, so I'm not sure how rough around the edges it is. Would love any feedback possible for you guys on how the stream is going. What do you expect to be shown? Maybe the rest of the cast? I don't think so. I think any members of the cast that haven't been officially announced, perhaps maybe like Benedict Cumberbatch, someone like obvious like him, Monica Rambeau, I don't think has been officially announced. Those characters that are pretty obvious that are going to be in it, that aren't massive big, spoilers or reveals, I think could be announced here today, or confirmed here today. But someone like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, maybe even Deadpool, I think they're probably going to save them or try to save them, for the movie, as a surprise. 1M Ed, been watching since 2022 Hall H stream. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you still being around. And thank you for joining that stream. That was a fantastic stream, wasn't it? That was a fantastic stream. I'm so excited for this year's Comic-Con live stream. I think this year's Comic-Con live stream is going to be quite fun. I think a lot of people are going to be there just for the Doomsday of it all, and also possibly the announcements of any of the X-Men cast, perhaps. I'm very, very much looking forward to this year's Hall H stream, and maybe even a DC one as well. DC wasn't at Hall H last year because there wasn't much to talk about, but this year, there's a lot to talk about. They got Lanterns coming out. They have Man of Tomorrow, the Batman Part 2 coming out. Maybe some stuff on Dynamic Duo. It could be really fun for both franchises here. I'm really looking forward to it. Really excited. What characters do you want to be shown? I want Quicksilver, Storm, the old Mr. Fantastic as the Maker, and any of the Spider-Men. Well, I don't think I think Storm might have a secret cameo in this. I don't think Quicksilver, old Mr. Fantastic as the Maker are going to be in Doomsday. There are rumors that Toby's going to be in Doomsday. I think Toby's definitely in Secret Wars. I think Andrew's definitely in Secret Wars. I'd also be surprised if Storm isn't in Secret Wars. I think it'd be really cool if Miles Teller or Ian Gruffin are back in Mr. Fantastic as the Maker in Secret Wars, but I don't think any of those characters will be in Doomsday necessarily, but I'd be down to see all of those characters in Secret Wars for sure. Nanch, nice to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome. Says Avengers Doomsday, maybe poster, maybe they show Doom poster. Yeah, I think that could be interesting, a Doom poster. Now, we have seen our first look at Doom before. At other conventions in the past, they have showed Doom and what he looks like. So it's not out of the question that they do that here as well. And this is the first big official, look at Doom, just in a more official sense than what we got at the other conventions in the past. What's up, official Jacob Pacewell? Nice to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Has anything happened yet? No, nothing has happened yet. The panel's in about 16 minutes, and likely, just like, the past couple panels, it'll likely take 10 to 20 minutes maybe once the panel starts for the news and whatnot to get going, and for us to get to full gear. Yeah, sounds great. Just hear you. Appreciate it. All right, thanks for letting me know. That is good to know. I think we will get our first look at Doom today. Kevin Feige is wearing a Doom hat. That's not unlikely, and if that's all we get here publicly, I think that's cool. I think that's very cool. However, yeah, them allowing people to take photos and videos. I mean, it's also possible that they are doing that and then are going to say, hey, put your phones away when they show footage and whatnot. But there's a chance, too, that them doing that means that they'll just release any footage publicly. Again, I don't want to get either of our hopes up. I just think that's a very interesting thing that they don't really do before. They haven't done before. Chris Evans and the Russo brothers are at CinemaCon with Dr. Doom's masks. Yeah, there's been reports and rumors that they're really going to go hard with Doomsday here. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. CinemaCon usually isn't a place where anyone goes hard. So, going hard for CinemaCon does not mean that it'll be on the level of anything like a Comic-Con or D23. I'm not expecting anything huge like that. But, that is what has been reported. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. What's up, Donovan Martin? Nice to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. Says, think will we get the trailer tonight publicly? Yeah, I think there's a non-zero chance. I think the odds in my head gone up a little bit since people are saying that they're allowing photos and videos to be taken at this panel, which is something that is very that has not happened a lot in the past. I'm not gonna say it's likely though. I still want to temper our expectations to not expect anything big here, to not expect a trailer publicly, but it is interesting that they're seemingly allowing these photos and videos to be taken at the panel. What's up, Shane Ultimate? Nice to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Fisher Jacobs, yeah. So I'm streaming both regularly, like on a regular, horizontal 16:9 stream, and I'm also doing a YouTube short stream. So because of that, I have two different chats going at the same time. So I'm alternating between chats back and forth. So, I'm not ignoring anyone's chats. I'm just going back and forth and going down the list. But I see everybody here. I really appreciate all of you here tuning in. For those of you that are watching YouTube Shorts, if you're planning on sticking here for the stream, I am streaming horizontally in the full screen format. The link to that is in the pinned comment and in the description. If you want to migrate there, and if anybody's tuning in for the first time on either stream, consider subscribing. I'm planning on uploading videos again consistently within the next couple months, and I'm doing these live streams for CinemaCon, for DC and Marvel, for D23 for Marvel. Should be good. Should be fun. Should be big. And if you guys haven't hit the like button already, feel free to do that. It helps the stream get pushed out to more people. The more people in these streams, the more fun they are. But anyway, let's keep going with these chats here while we wait for the panel to start. Devesh, what's going on? Nice to have you here. Welcome. Says, where is the trailer Doomsday? It could be here. It could not be. We're still a little while away from the movie releasing. So they don't have to start marketing right away. I think the two big places, the two big candidates for when the trailer officially drops and releases is perhaps tonight, perhaps here. I still think that it's more likely that the first trailer for Doomsday releases at San Diego Comic-Con in July. That just feels to me like that makes sense. But it's not definitely no that the trailer comes here. So we'll have to wait and see. But definitely keep your expectations low and in check. Pure Wolf, what's going on? Nice to have you. Welcome. Says, did they do a proper Doomsday trailer? Do you think they will keep it as a CinemaCon exclusive or release it online also? Well, before the stream started, I would have said likely just a CinemaCon exclusive, but I'm now being told by people in the chat that they're letting people in attendance take pictures and videos here, which doesn't automatically mean that they're going to release any footage shown to people in attendance to the public. Not, doesn't confirm that they're releasing to the public. They could just be saying, you could just say, hey, all right, everyone, phones away, no recording during that. That's typically what happens at like the Hall H panels at San Diego Comic-Con. They let people take photos and videos during the just like the talking and announcement part of the panel. But when they put up any footage and trailers, they say, hey, phones away, and they're really strict about it. So they could just be doing that here. We'll see. I'm still leaning towards that the trailer won't be released publicly and it'll just be shown to people in attendance, but who knows? Anything can happen. Likelihood of tonight or in front of a big film like The Odyssey? See, I think it's likely in front of a... Well, when does Odyssey come out? Does that come out like the weekend after San Diego Comic-Con? The Odyssey comes out July 17th. So before San Diego Comic-Con. Interesting. In my head, I was thinking that was coming out the week after San Diego Comic-Con, but now that that's coming out I realize that's coming out before. Maybe they have to release it before Comic-Con for that reason. I don't know. Like I've been saying, like I still want to try to keep everyone's expectations in check so they have a better time during this stream and with this panel. But I feel like yeah, you want to have this trailer in front of Odyssey, right? So you'd want to have it out before. So maybe they wouldn't wait for Comic-Con and they just show maybe a scene to people at Comic-Con. Because I think the big draw of Comic-Con outside of the trailer is also going to be the announcement of the X-Men cast. So like they could also just mic drop on the X-Men cast reveal instead of the Doomsday trailer at Comic-Con. I don't know. We'll see. Ayash Reed, nice to have you here. Thanks for tuning in. Says, do you know what this is? So this is a stream that will be covering all the news coming out of the Walt Disney Studios CinemaCon panel. So also, I should clarify this earlier as well. This is not a Marvel panel. This is a Walt Disney Studios panel, a 2-hour panel. So they're not solely focusing on Marvel and on Doomsday. They're also going over cinema releases for Disney, for Pixar, for Star Wars, and for Marvel. So it's not 2 hours just focused on Marvel. It is spread out over all their productions and studios. What's up, Max Wilder? Trailer odds. I don't know. I can't give a specific number on the odds necessarily, but I'll just keep saying what I've been saying. A non-zero chance that the trailer releases here. Non-zero chance. It is definitely possible. I don't know if I'd say likely, but definitely possible. Really feels like the calm before the storm. It does, but I feel like that calm could still theoretically last for a couple more months leading up to Comic-Con. But also, now like we've just said before, with you bringing up the fact of them maybe wanting to release a trailer with the Odyssey, I don't know, maybe this is the best place to release it before the Odyssey instead of just either dropping it with the Odyssey that week or what. It's very interesting. Since RDJ is such a big actor, how much of the movie would Doom have a mask? I'm gonna say the majority of it. Maybe not all of it, but I think the majority of it. I think they cast RDJ for a couple things. I think they cast RDJ for marketing publicity. I think they cast RDJ just for story reasons, right? For Doom to look like Tony, but also Tony Stark is almost definitely going to appear in Secret Wars. Like I would be so incredibly shocked if Tony Stark isn't in Secret Wars. And that I don't think that's something you really need to keep a secret. But if they do want to keep that a secret, having Robert Downey Jr. on set as Doom and that being announced would make it less suspicious to see him on set. And people automatically go, oh, RDJ's on set. Whoa, is Iron Man coming back? I think, like, we can all kind of assume and agree that Tony Stark, Iron Man, is going to be in Secret Wars. Not Doomsday, in Secret Wars. But it does kind of make it less obvious, necessarily. Do you think we're going to get anything on Star Wars? I think we'll probably get something on Mandalorian and Grogu. Maybe not a full trailer. But I think people in attendance will see something from Mandalorian and Grogu. There's not really much movie-wise. I guess Starfighter, actually. I don't think they released the trailer for Starfighter. Yeah, maybe some first looks at Starfighter, like some images, some stills, perhaps. Maybe people in attendance will get to see some Starfighter footage, but Starfighter doesn't come out until May of next year. So I think the first Starfighter trailer will be at D23 this year. Which again, like I said, I'll be doing a live stream for. But I don't know that we'll get a full trailer for Starfighter, and I don't think we'll get any other announcements for any other Star Wars movies. Or any updates on like the Rey movie, if that's still happening. I would love a surprise announcement of the Hunt for Ben Solo still happening. I would love a surprise announcement of that. I would also love, and this is my other kind of pipe dream hope here, is that they announce a new Muppets movie with the success of the Muppet special that just released on Disney Plus a month or two ago. I would more so love just an announcement of a full continuation of that show, but that wouldn't be here because this is just movies, nothing TV or streaming, just movies at this convention, at this panel. But do I think anything Star Wars? I think they'll get in attendance something for Mandalorian and Grogu, maybe something for Starfighter, but I don't think we'll get anything big for Starfighter. Okay, give me 2 minutes. I'm just gonna, my food has arrived, so give me 2 minutes to grab that. I will be right back. All right, I have returned. Apologies for that. Let's continue on in the chat this year, right now. I wish that the Hollywood handle or CinemaCon has a YouTube channel where they go live for every presentation. They still haven't learned their lesson from last year's issues. Well, that's just kind of common practice for most conventions. They don't really ever stream these panels, these big panels like this. Star Wars Celebration used to a while back in the good old days, but unfortunately they don't anymore. Not the big ones, at least, typically. But yeah, that's kind of common practice, unfortunately, for these big conventions is they don't stream the panels. And will Cars 4 happen? I don't know. I don't know how good 3 did. I feel like 3 ended off pretty solid. Yeah, I'm pumped for Hall H this year. Me too, man. I am so pumped for Hall H this year. Apologize for any crinkling of the bags. I'm just taking my food out. I am as well. I'm very, very pumped for Hall H. I think there's going to be a lot of great stuff with Marvel. Like I said, I think they really had that big mic drop with the X-Men cast, or at least some of the X-Men cast. Maybe not the entirety of the X-Men cast, but at least some of the X-Men cast, because X-Men might start filming this year, might not. There's conflicting reports on that, but there is I think a high likelihood that they are at the end of Secret Wars. So I think because of that, they're gonna leak. It's gonna leak. So I think it's better that they just get ahead of it and announce it. What's up, Taro? Nice to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome back. Brian Trejo says, what do you think Namor's role will be in Doomsday? A very small one. I think it'll be either akin to T'Challa, probably even less than T'Challa, but in a similar sense to T'Challa in Infinity War. Namor is just, you know, the leader of Talokan, right? So with this big incursion, he would be approached, but I don't know if he's going on any adventures with them or anything. I think he might just be solitary on Earth, on 616. Nerdy Mastermind, welcome, nice to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Says, gotta be honest, last MCU show I watched was Hawkeye. Pretty good one. And last MCU movie I saw in theaters is Guardians Volume 3. Really? Okay. I hope somehow the MCU can win me back because I completely checked out. It was too much. Hey, I think that's valid. I think if you want to get back into the MCU, though, and want to be hopeful again for the MCU, I'd recommend Wonder Man. Wonder Man's pretty good. Loki, especially Season 2. Loki Season 2 is fantastic. There's also, I mean, Thunderbolts was really, really good. Definitely one of the better movies, maybe even ever. I really like Fantastic Four. But yeah, I'd say Wonder Man is great. Daredevil Born Again is fantastic, especially Season 2 that's airing right now. The last couple episodes of Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again were stellar. But I think there's a lot to be excited for the future of the MCU. That's actually, but the video I'm working on right now, that's my first video back once I am able to upload consistently, is pretty much about that, talking about how the MCU has kind of lost people over the years and how Phase 6 and these next 2 years specifically are really focused on bringing people back and winning people back. They just announced that you can take pictures of the talent on the stage, but no recording of footage shown. Okay, so that doesn't make it any more or less likely for a trailer to be released here. However, that does make it a little more likely that the trailer will leak. Now, we can't watch the leak trailer here, just for copyright reasons. Don't want to risk my channel, but it does make it more likely that the trailer and footage will leak if any of us are so inclined to go watch leaked footage afterwards. All right, y'all. We are going to switch over now to the during show side of things. So if this is the first time you're tuning into one of my live streams like this, what happens is I have two oh, let's take a look at this picture here. We got the Russo brothers, Chris Evans wearing, is that a Doom jacket? That's not Kevin Feige. But yeah, they're here. Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, so what I have is I have these Twitter pages pulled up that people who are at the convention, and it automatically refreshes. I don't have to refresh it myself. It automatically refreshes and it updates. And yeah, we get to pull things up. For the and when I do things like this on the YouTube short side, what I'll do is just switch to something like that so you guys can see that. But yeah, I'm clicking that on the wrong side. Okay. Because the Russo brothers are reported there. Yes, they are. They are right here. Right here. Like I said, also for people watching the YouTube short stream, it'll be a little rough around the edges. It's my first time ever doing a YouTube short stream, so I apologize in advance for the roughness. If you would like to, I am also streaming this regularly in full screen. If you want to go over to that one to see it without all the roughness around the edges. Do you think it'll be like the Infinity War and Endgame, where they're going to focus on some characters more in one film than the others will get their time in the other? To an extent, yes. But I think that Secret Wars will have a large focus, and this opinion, or this theory, speculation, could definitely be changed after we see Doomsday, of course, but from the outside looking in right now, I think that Secret Wars will primarily focus on Hugh Jackman Wolverine, Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark, and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, with a couple characters surrounding them, but as this big final hoorah, you know, of the just Marvel cinema in general. But I think like Steve Rogers in this movie, I don't think Steve Rogers will be a big part of this movie, but I think he'll be a big part of next movie. But let's say like John Walker, maybe he might not be a massive part here, and I don't think he'll be a massive part in Secret Wars either. I think he'll probably have a similar role in both. All right, the panel has begun. Like I said in previous presentations of panels the past couple days, it has taken about 10 to 20 minutes to get any real news started and going from this panel. So we'll have to wait here a little bit, but we'll stay here. We'll stay here chatting as we wait. You're ready? I'm ready as well, Tia. Nice to have you back here, man. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome. I think they could announce, but everyone will see the trailer instead of... It feels like something is coming because the 4 previews of Doomsday had a combined 1 billion views. Like, they don't want people's reactions. I mean, that's not impossible. Imagine they announced the world premiere trailer in May tonight, given that May was the Avengers month for each of their releases in the past. That's not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible thought that they could just tease when the trailer's releasing today. That's a pretty solid theory. And pretty solid speculation. Make it like a whole event, you know? That's not impossible at all. Robbie, what's going on, man? It's everything to you in. Where is Hexed? What is Hexed? Do you think we'll get any updates on Hexed? We'll at least get the cast and character names and some synopsis of it and what the animation of the movie will be. But I don't think we'll get the Hexed trailer very soon, not until May. Same happened with Zootopia last year at CinemaCon. Maybe. I'm not familiar with Hexed. So I can't give a comment on that. I apologize. Avengers Doomsday and Hexed are the most hyped movies from these presentations. Interesting. Yeah, I'm interested to hear more about Hexed. I'm not familiar with it. Hexed is a new Disney animation original film releasing this Thanksgiving. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, if it's this Thanksgiving, maybe they release a trailer. And then they go really hard with it at D23 in August, I think that is. Yeah, that's not impossible. It's not impossible. Oh, another favor that I would like to ask. The people watching on like the main 16:9 full screen, let me know, just say like in chat when you get an ad. I typically have ads just turned off during the thing, but I'm this is a full experiment day, full experiment stream. If you get an ad, it's YouTube doing it manually or automatically. Just let me know. I'm curious the frequency of when the ads are. And at YouTube Shorts, if you guys somehow are getting ads, let me know as well. It's about this teen boy who has weird behavior, but he's pulled into a weird realm, and he realizes he's actually a wizard. Oh, interesting. Reminds me of the show called The Owl House, but it's with the male protagonist. They might, insiders say, will get some Hex info today. Well, that sounds pretty cool. I'd be down to see info there. Info about that movie. That definitely sounds something that's right up my alley, for sure. Something like fantasy like that. Do you think we will get the rest of the cast? Maybe like Benedict Cumberbatch as Strange, maybe Carol Danvers, maybe Monica Rambeau. I don't think she's been officially announced yet, but I think is very likely to be in the cast. But I don't think we'll get like Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman or Tobey Maguire if they're in it. I think they're going to probably want to save those as best they can to be surprises during the movie itself. I hope we hear a bit about Star Wars Starfighter. I need another Ryan Gosling space movie to fix it on. For real, man. For real. Project Hail Mary was so damn good, wasn't it? What an absolutely fantastic movie. It is such a shame that it has to go up against Dune 3 and The Odyssey at next year's Oscars, because it really does deserve to win something. And I hope it's not forgotten about. I hope that even though it released in March of this year, and the Oscars aren't until like February of next year, I hope it's not forgotten about, and it's at very minimum nominated for stuff. Brie Larson is confirmed. She's confirmed through like photo leaks and stuff, but I don't think she's actually been. I could be wrong, but I don't think she's actually been confirmed by Marvel. I don't think Brie Larson was in the Chair live stream, and outside of that, outside of the Chair live stream, the only other actor confirmed perhaps is Haley Atwell. I don't remember if she was in the Chair stream. Hope they'll show Toby and Hugh fighting. Well, there are some rumors and speculation about that. I don't think they'll show that here, though, nor in the trailers. I think they'll definitely say that for the movie itself. What's up, Spidey Animation? Is a Javier Man. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. You think Doomsday is going to be like Barbenheimer? No, I don't. I don't. I think both movies are going to do exactly what they would have done otherwise. I don't think Doomsday is going to help elevate the box office in the same way that Barbenheimer did for those two movies. There's a big overlap with fans there, and it's also during the winter, so people are going to see both anyway. I think it's just a fun thing for like me and my friend who are big Marvel and big Dune fans to go see both on one day, or within, a day or two of each other. I don't think it's going to be this massive thing where it elevates both box offices. Deadpool and Wolverine may return to Avengers Doomsday. They likely will. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but I think they likely won't be announced ahead of time. They could attach a trailer with Brand New Day as well. They could, but isn't Brand New Day before the Odyssey? But I think it'd be smart to have the trailer with the Odyssey and Brand New Day. No, you're right. No, Brand New Day is a week later. Yeah, they could be waiting for that. That's a good point. That's a good point. It is after. It is after. Other reports said they want to wait until Secret Wars for him to take off the mask, and that I think makes a lot of sense, and that makes me hopeful because Doctor Doom is a character that doesn't take off his mask really. So that was my biggest concern with casting RDJ. It wasn't the performance itself or the writing in any way or the characterization. It was more just the fact that, like, are they going to cast Robert Downey Jr. and then have him never take off the mask? If we get a whole movie with him with the mask on, and then in Secret Wars the mask is off, and that's like a big deal, I think that's cool. I think that's perfectly cool and fine. Maybe during post-credit scene? Maybe what's during a post-credit scene? I believe Doomsday will be avoided because Dune 3 may be delayed. Dune 3 actually cannot be delayed anymore. They've already sold tickets for Dune 3. The 70mm IMAX tickets for Dune 3 for like the first week have already been sold and sold out. If anything, Avengers might get pushed up or delayed. I think more likely pushed up. Moved up a couple weeks. And I think they honestly should. I think Avengers needs those IMAX seats a little bit. I think people want that experience. Right now, in America, Avengers Doomsday and Brand New Day aren't going to have a IMAX release, which is interesting. Steve McTeen, I have him. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome. Says zero chance Tony isn't in Secret Wars. I fully agree with you. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way he's not in Secret Wars. Especially because he's already Doom, right? Like he's already in the movie. He's already on set. He's gonna be in Secret Wars for sure. Because it's the last time, and that's why I fully believe a lot of Secret Wars will be focused on Toby, Spider-Man, Hughes Wolverine, and RDJ's Iron Man teaming up and working together. It's because this is the last and only time that they can do this. Just have them all together. Something that, I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I'm assuming most of us really want to see our entire lives, right? And I think they got to take advantage of it here. They got to capitalize on it. Remember Saw Patrol? That was funny. I don't remember that. This movie's going to break the box office. It's going to be big, and it has to be to make a profit. However, and I'll talk about this in my video that I'm releasing and working on and releasing in a couple months. I don't think it... How do I phrase this? To be a success in the eyes of Disney, perhaps, I don't know if it needs to make a profit or a huge profit. I don't know if that's the point. I think the point of this might just be to win people back and usher in the new... As we're ushering in this new era of the MCU, bringing people back and excited for the future movies. So it's more important for this movie to be as good as possible with the biggest budget possible, if necessary, over making sure this movie makes a lot of money in the profit. MJR, nice to have everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Will you show the panel? No. So I'm going to have... The panel is not being live streamed, so I can't show the panel. But like I said, I have these Twitter accounts up here, people that are in attendance for the panel that will be live tweeting all the news that's coming out. And like I said, once the panel started, it typically takes, for CinemaCon, about 15 to 20 minutes for anything to actually start going. I don't know why, but it typically takes about 10 to 20 minutes. This movie is good. Imagine how Secret Wars is going to be with Nicolas Cage, Wesley Snipes in 05, Fantastic Four. Well, they're not confirmed, but they'd be great to be in it. Like my guess for Secret Wars is they just asked whoever, like everybody, if they want to be in it, and if they said no, yeah, then they're not in it. But yeah, man, all that would be so hype. I think Secret Wars is going to be full on fan service. That's okay. That's the point, right? The point is for Secret Wars. Now, I think the story is going to be just fine. I think everything else about the movie, I think the directing, the acting, the cinematography, etc., the score, I think they're all going to be good, right? I don't think the story is going to be bad at all, but I think Secret Wars is going to be mainly fan service, and that's okay, because that's the point of it. It's this final goodbye homage honoring the, 20 plus years of Marvel movies that we all grew up with and love. I'm okay with one movie like this being fan service. I'm perfectly okay with that. And I'm excited for it. It's great to be a nerd this year. It is so great to be a nerd this year, man. I mean, it's been great to be a nerd this, past week or two, but, the Maul Shadow Lord, so good. Daredevil, so freaking good. Invincible, absolute cinema, absolute peak. And The Boys, which I haven't watched today's episode, or yesterday's episode, so no spoilers, but The Boys is really good as well. We are in such a great era right now. What I've been saying to my friends is, it feels like the good old days of the CW. I don't know if you guys grew up with this as well, but I grew up with Arrow and The Flash and Legends. I didn't really watch Supergirl or Black Lightning, but and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all of them airing at once every week. And it was so awesome to go from Arrow, or I think it was Flash and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Tuesdays, Arrow on Wednesdays, Legends on Thursdays. I really did not appreciate that growing up. I did not appreciate that enough growing up. And the past week, this week, and next week, it kind of feels like that again. With Daredevil, with Maul on Mondays, Daredevil on Tuesdays, Invincible and The Boys on Wednesdays. It feels like that again, and it's a great feeling. It's such a great time to be a nerd for sure. Kevin Davis, that's everything. Thanks for tuning in. Says Disney box office 2026 hit films: Avengers Doomsday, Moana live action, Toy Story 5, Mandalorian and Grogu, Devil Wears Prada 2. Yeah, I think they're big hitters for sure. There's some other ones as well. Ravi was mentioning a movie called Hexes, It's gonna be on Thanksgiving. That could be a bit of a sleeper hit, perhaps. I think Hoppers did pretty decently, right? I didn't go see it, but I heard good things about it, at least, you know, critically. Yeah, it could be a really good year for them box office wise. What's up, Sai? We're back. I'm always in your lobby for these events. I had them clipped in my phone. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. I'm glad you enjoy these. Don't expect this to be like the, you know, the big Comic-Con streams, right? CinemaCon typically isn't as big as Comic-Con in terms of big announcements and stuff. I'm not even expecting a trailer for Doomsday released to the public here, but on the off chance that it is, we're live here. But if it's not, we're still here chatting, having a good time with fellow fans. Always reacting. OMG, it's happening. Everyone calm down. It might be happening. It might not be happening. We'll have to just wait and see throughout the panel. I think overall, though, since we're just here chatting, I think it's going to be a good time regardless. Thomas Bennett, what's going on, man? Welcome, nice to have you here. Says, people are saying that Disney's going to either not make any more movies and TV shows or replace their entire workforce with AI because of layoffs. No, I think that's totally ridiculous. I think the layoffs suck. Like, it's never a good thing when people lose their jobs. Like, I feel for everyone to lose their jobs, and I hope they find another job quickly. But what sounds like what it was is they just are like, hey, we have so many people here that we don't need. And I think in the report for the layoffs, they said that they're going to be hiring these roles on a job-by-job basis, which I think is, I'm not a business guy, so I could be wrong, but to me, that sounds kind of smart, right? That makes sense. Instead of just having too many people employed, hire people on a project-by-project basis so that they make sure they're not overspending. I don't know, like, maybe I'm wrong. It's totally possible I'm wrong, but I don't think they're doing that at all. His fan service would love to see Eric Bana. That'd be really cool. Eric Bana as Hulk or Maestro in Secret Wars would be very cool. Great to see that our childhoods on the big screen again. Yeah, and I think we will. I think it's the whole point of this. That's the whole point. This is the last time that we can really ever do this. So we're doing it, you know? And I'm glad, and I'm excited. Answer those already. Chase M, what's going on? Nice to have you. Welcome. Since a Spider-Man Brand New Day take place after this Avengers movie. You know, I want to say no. I want to say no, but I think there was a synopsis released somewhere that mentioned that it was after Doomsday, but I feel like it doesn't make sense because I feel like at the end of Doomsday, he creates Battleworld. I mean, that could be wrong. Obviously, we haven't seen the movie, but that just makes sense in my mind. So I'm going to say likely no. Likely no that Brand New Day takes place after. I think it takes place before Doomsday. Ryan Coogler is going to stick with Letitia Wright, Shuri as the Black Panther, no matter what the rumors say online. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think that T'Challa should be recast, but I also thought T'Challa should have been recast for Wakanda Forever, just because I think they handled Chadwick Boseman's death very gracefully. I think Wakanda Forever is a really great movie. But I've just always been a person of the opinion that for these big franchises, whether it be Star Wars or Marvel or DC, you know, Lord of the Rings recently with Aragorn, right? These characters existed before these actors play those roles. They'll exist after these characters are done playing these roles. These characters are bigger than just, you know, the actor that played them. We should not be afraid of recasting these characters. We really shouldn't. So I think they should have cast T'Challa. I think they should recast T'Challa. But I also think that they should recast Tony Stark and Steve Rogers for post-Secret Wars, so the universe is now... They finally are able to have every character at their disposal and use them all. I don't think they're gonna do that. So I think it's unlikely that they'll recast T'Challa. If anything, maybe they'll age up T'Challa's son, perhaps. But I think Letitia Wright is sticking around no matter what. Yeah, 3 ads, like 50 minutes apart. Okay, interesting. Good to know. Thank you, that guy who does stuff. I appreciate that. Welcome to stream as well. Thank you for letting me know. I am Batman. Welcome to Savage. Says anything about Doomsday? Hello, not yet, but Doomsday will be a big part of this panel. So how big? We don't know. CinemaCon is typically a smaller stakes panel in terms of announcements than say Comic-Con or D23. So don't expect anything massive, but it will be here in some capacity. Horror Stoop, nice to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Says, really hope we get a Doom trailer. I hope so too. But if we don't, that's okay. That's okay. We're just having a good time here. It is not confirmed though. I want to clarify that for people who are maybe just tuning in. I have seen people online be saying that the trailer is releasing today. It is dropping today. That is not true. That is not confirmed. It very well might release today. It very well might be dropped online today. However, it has not been confirmed. So do not expect 100% that the trailer will be released today. Marvel, Disney, they have never said that the trailer is releasing today. I think Doomsday will get moved to December 11th. I think that's not unlikely. Just a couple weeks before Dune, I think, is perfect, because you still have the overlap with Doomsday and Dune. So if people really want to go see Doomsday and Dune on the same day, they can. But releasing it a few weeks earlier also allows them to, I think, also release it in IMAX. I agree. Black Panther 1 is still a better movie, though. I don't know. I mean that genuinely. I would need to rewatch both. I've only seen Wakanda Forever once in theaters, and I thought that was a really great experience. At the end of that, I think I came out saying that I liked it more than the first one, but I also saw it with a bunch of my friends, so just the experience was really great. I'm doing a full MCU rewatch this year, so I'll have a better opinion once I finish my rewatch. John Cattendoy, nice to have him in. Welcome, says, I think Doomsday trailer comes out on July. Since it's 5 months, that would make it 5 months away. Yeah, I think July does make sense, but it's not impossible that's released here just because this event is happening. I really like how secretive this movie is. Makes me happy as a Marvel fan. Me too. Me too. This year is the year, dude. It really is. Really is. It's a great year to be Marvel, to be a nerd. Like Tara was saying before, it's a great year to be a nerd. By the way, X accounts, One Take News, and the movie podcast are really quick updates from CinemaCon. I've been using them to track news over the past few days. Along with those two. Oh, great. Great. Thank you. I'm going to take out Hollywood Handle. Just because I think Disgusting Film posts like the trailers and stuff. So let me add... Between the two, Cooper, if you're still here. Between the two, which one should I add? Between One Take News and Movie Podcast. I don't want to add too many at once just because X has that stupid thing where it limits the amount of tweets you can see in one day if you don't have premium. But I'll definitely add one of them up there. I appreciate you letting me know. I think it won't be delayed. I don't think Doomsday will be delayed. I think if anything, it'll be moved up a couple weeks to early December or late November. One Take. All right, let me add One Take News. One Take News. Boom. I'm assuming it's this right here. Great. Thole, nice Heverman, thanks for tuning in. Said it's crazy that Nolan and Denis took Marvel IMAX screens. I mean, it is crazy, but then when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. You know, these two people that are big proponents of IMAX cinema that are shooting on IMAX cameras. I think Dune was shot on IMAX. I know obviously the Odyssey was. I think it makes sense for IMAX to say no. We're gonna let Dune and the Odyssey take over. Odyssey especially. Odyssey and IMAX over Brand New Day I think makes so much sense. But also, I'm more excited for Brand New Day. More excited for Odyssey than I am Brand New Day. So, I might be a little biased. All right. Final CinemaCon presentation presented by Disney is starting now. Here we go. What do you think of Mattel making their own movie based on their IP, like Thomas, Barbie, Barney, Masters of the Universe, and more? I think it's fine if they learn the right lesson from Barbie. The lesson from Barbie wasn't just, let's make movies with our IP. The lesson from Barbie was, oh, let's hire somebody who is passionate about this story and has an actual story to tell here, an actual filmmaker with a voice here, and a message to say, not just, let's make a Barbie movie. And I'm not a He-Man guy, so my opinion is really invalid anyway, but Masters of the Universe does not look that great to me, because it looks like it's just, it suffers from a term that I've learned recently, Surf Dracula syndrome. Now, if you don't know what Surf Dracula means, I didn't until like a couple weeks ago. It's this term that's kind of been floating around online about the state of a lot of movies and shows these days. And it originates from a tweet, I think, or a post somewhere that said, back in the day, if a show was called Surf Dracula, every episode you would expect to see Dracula surfing. But now, it takes, for like an 8 or 10 episode season, it takes 8 to 9 episodes to finally get to see Surf Dracula surfing for the last 5 minutes of the finale. And I think Masters of the Universe looks like the same way, where this is a He-Man movie, but the vibe I get from the trailer is he's not going to be He-Man until like the 3rd act, right? So I think with that, they might have taken the wrong conclusion and lesson from Barbie. Now, with something like Thomas or Barney or etc., like, I think it just depends on the script and the filmmaker and the story that they tell. Do they actually take time to craft a well thought out, layered story, or is it just let's put Thomas the Tank Engine or Barney on screen and try to sell tickets? You know. Doomsday will make between $1.4 and $1.9 billion. People are underestimating the strength of Christmas. Yes, I agree. I think it lands somewhere between there. I don't think it's the highest grossing movie ever. I don't think it's, highest grossing movie, grosses more than Infinity War or Endgame. But I think it makes enough, and I think that is enough. The reported budget right now is about $400 million on the movie and $300 million on marketing, which means you need to make about 1.5 billion to break even, because with the theaters and whatnot take a cut of the ticket cost, right? So it needs to hit about 1.5 billion to break even, and I think it'll break even. And I think, like I said earlier, I think it's fine from their perspective. I'm not them, so I don't know 100%, but if I was in their position, I would think it's okay if it just breaks even, because the point of it is to win people back, moving into this new phase and moving into this new era of the MCU post Secret Wars. I want to win back the opinion of the public. I feel like the best way to go is to have Doomsday be treated like the first 2 acts of the story and Secret Wars as one big climax. That's not a horrible thought. Perhaps. I think it depends also on how long each movie is. Like, I would love if Doomsday is 3.5 hours long, and Secret Wars. I hope that Secret Wars is like 3.5 to 4 hours long. Like, I want like a Return of the King style, hoorah, extended edition, hoorah. I want it to be long movie. I want it to be long. All right, Disney kicks off their CinemaCon presentation with a sizzle of their 2025 slate and sneak at their 2026 slate. Upcoming films showcased Whale Fall, not heard of that, Moana, Mandalorian and Grogu, Toy Story 5, Avengers Doomsday, Wild Horse 9, not heard of that either, and more. All right. Dawid, definitely not wrong, I apologize. Dawid Co. Okay, I'm not going to try to pronounce the rest of your name. I apologize. But thank you for tuning in. Welcome, nice to have you. Says, posted on CinemaCon, passages say that Doomsday will be on 18th December, but perhaps they later change the date of premiere. Yeah, they could still change it later. They might not know yet, or maybe they announced that here, and they just didn't want to spoil it beforehand, right? That could be a big announcement here. Who knows? Zootopia 2 has jokingly been renamed to Zootopia 1.9 billion. Yeah, that made a lot of money. I still have to watch it. I have to rewatch the first one. I didn't love the first one when it came out, but that was 10 years ago. I'll give it another shot. But I heard good things about Zootopia 2. Started watching the Arrowverse when the Elseworlds crossover released. Yeah, man, those crossovers were something else. Like, were they the best storytelling in the world? No. But were they fun? Yes, they were. Especially for a kid. Hoppers was good. It did well for an original film released in our current movie-going climate. That's good to hear. Yeah, it's upsetting to see that a lot of these original movies aren't doing well. I hope that changes in the future for sure. As like Sinners did really well, so did One Battle. No, One Battle actually might not have done well financially. I think it did well critically, obviously, but not financially. But yeah, example like Sinners. I hope as the years go on and these movies start to get better and better, hopefully again, it means that people will start going to the theaters again and supporting original films. Quick look at Disney Family in 2026. All right, let me go there for the YouTube short side of things. So we got Disney, Walt Disney Animation Studios, Marvel Studios, Pixar, Lucasfilm, 20th Century Fox, and Searchlight. Oh, wow. Yeah, I forgot they have these studios now they have to cover as well. But so these are all the studios that they have to cover here during this panel. So they'll likely just be focusing mainly on Moana, not Zootopia, but probably, you know, maybe Hexes, Toy Story 5, Doomsday, Mandalorian Grogu, Devil Wears Prada, and whatever that is. I don't know what movie that is. Yeah, it's going to be probably not a lot of news for each, but a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, so like right here. Right here. Mandalorian Grogu, Devil Wears Prada, Toy Story 5, Moana, The Dog Stars, Whalefall, Super Troopers 3, no way, Wild Horse 9, Hexed, Ice Age Boiling Point for February 2027, and Gato, March 5th, 2027. So this is their upcoming slate. Doesn't mean we'll get a lot of news about all of these, but this is their upcoming slate, so I'm not expecting anything really about stuff after this. But pretty cool. Yeah, so this look at Dr. Doom here is a look that we've seen before. It's a look that has appeared at other conventions in the past. And it looks like we're seeing it here again. I think it's a fantastic Doom design. Fantastic Doom design. Like, I don't know if a Doom design could get any better than that, to be fair. It looks great. Studios usually release trailers around the 6-month mark. You think we'll get Doomsday since Dune released a trailer too? Yeah, you know, that's a good point too. That Dune released their trailer already. So maybe they want to release Doomsday's around now to try to compete with it, right? Yeah, I don't know. Like, the reason you said before, the usual release around the 6-month mark was made me think before, yeah, okay, they'll release at Comic-Con. It's 5 months, but it's okay because it's Doomsday. Comic-Con's a big place, but I don't know. Like we said, it's up in the air. It's up in the air. I still wouldn't expect it here, but it's not impossible. Dragon B. Martin, as Cyberman, thanks to Ian, welcome, says, facts, bro, I missed that era with Arrowverse and S.H.I.E.L.D. with other shows. They have their ups and downs, but the Arrow is cinema. It was cinema. It was cinema. So you don't know how good you have it, right? You really don't know when you're a kid how good you have it. Nerd-centric, nice to have you, man. Thanks to Ian. Just saw from new Rockstar Twitter that attendees are allowed to take photos but not record live stream footage. Yeah, which is the first time I think for CinemaCon that this is, at least this week, that this is the case, which is cool. Especially for us, it's cool. Seeing Chris Evans attend CinemaCon with the Russos and Feige makes me think this is more of a tip of the iceberg, more in store waiting. I agree. I think if they were releasing the trailer, I don't know if they'd have, unless he didn't want to. I don't know if they'd have Steve Rogers and, Chris Evans there, unless he might be the focal point of the trailer, which would be interesting considering rumors suggest that Steve Rogers' role in terms of screen time in Doomsday is roughly the same amount of screen time as he had in Infinity War, just with a larger importance to the story. So it's possible the trailer does center on Steve, and that's why he's there. Maybe RDJ didn't want to go or was busy, but I feel like ideally, when you first release a trailer at a big convention like this, you'd want RDJ there. But maybe I'm wrong. I'd love to see the end of Brand New Day being like Ant-Man and the Wasp, where we see the aftermath of Doomsday, but since it's coming out before Doomsday, we'll have to wait and see what the cause was. That's not unlikely, considering that I think, yeah, originally, right? Wasn't Doomsday supposed to come out before Brand New Day? What also could be the case, though, Shin, is they were planning on showing that in a post-credit scene, but now that it releases before Doomsday, that post-credit scene plan was cut. I think in all likelihood, the most that we get at the end of Brand New Day in relation to Doomsday is like some sort of indication of an incursion incoming, perhaps. Like, Spider-Man looks up and he sees the other world, the other Earth in the sky, perhaps. Tony Peluso, welcome to Nice Everyman. Thanks for tuning in. Says they will recast Black Panther during After Secret Wars. Yeah, it's not impossible, and I think it could be the right call for sure, because that character is very important to a lot of people, a lot of kids. I think they should recast. All right, we're about to see a message from the cast of The Devil Wears Prada 2. There you go. I just watched the first one for the first time maybe 6 months ago. No more than 6 months ago. Maybe 8 months ago. Pretty good film. I'll definitely go see this. A song just got added to the soundtrack of Doomsday called Magical Machines. Going to be used for the trailer. Where do you see that? What do you mean added to the soundtrack of Doomsday? How do you even know what the soundtrack of Doomsday is? Baraknas Harriman says, "Hey man, love following these type of panels with you every time. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you for being here every time. Really makes these streams better having you guys here. You know, these streams would not be what they are without you guys in the chat, hanging out, talking, and having a good time with all of us. So I really do appreciate all of you guys that tune into these live streams." TF3, follow New Rockstars as well. I'm not gonna have New Rockstars up just because I believe they're doing a live stream similar to this, so I don't want to. I want to avoid any possible potential copyright or whatever that or bad blood perhaps. Are you the IMAX screens? It is only the actual 70mm IMAX true screens, or is it all IMAX screens including baby IMAX screens? I think it's all, at least in America. I think it's all. As far as I'm aware, when IMAX put out their, like, you know, what they're releasing in 2027 or 2026, Brand New Day and Doomsday were not on there. So it makes me think that it's all. But if, like, Doomsday comes out a couple weeks earlier, I don't know how, you know, scheduling whatnot for movie theaters works, but if it comes a few weeks earlier, then maybe there's enough time to finagle those regular IMAX screens for Doomsday. Heard the Thunderbolts are going to be used as cannon fodder in Doomsday. Only Widow and Sentry survive. That would be interesting. I think it's almost a definite that Yelena survives. But also, here's the thing, too. It's kind of similar to Infinity War in the sense that if they die in Doomsday, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna stay dead after Secret Wars. I think, not everybody perhaps, but a decent amount of people who die in Doomsday will be reborn in Secret Wars and Battleworld, or reborn after Secret Wars, you know, at the end when they eventually break up Battleworld and create the new timeline afterwards. Netflix Daredevil Season 1 started the Surf Dracula trend. Only good example of those kind of situation. Yeah, there's been a couple. Yeah, Daredevil for sure is one that was good. And this is a hot take, I know. I love the Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's another example of the Surf Dracula syndrome a little bit, but I love that show so much. For me, that worked well. But yeah, it has become a trend recently, and sometimes it has worked. Sometimes it's worked for sure, but it's not an exciting thing going into a project to hear that it's going to be like that. Programmer Studios, welcome man. Savage says, "Yo, what happened to Armored Wars? Did Marvel cancel it?" I feel like they probably just canceled it. They quietly shelved it, unfortunately. Wish it wasn't the case, but I think that's what happened. Infinity War can be surpassed by Doomsday, but Endgame, no way. Infinity War, maybe. What was the box office of Infinity War? Yeah, Endgame probably doesn't have a shot, especially because Endgame's re-releasing in theaters in September, which is so hype. Can't wait to go see that again in theaters. I haven't seen that in 5 years, which is crazy to think about. Infinity War box office. Infinity War made $2 billion worldwide. It could. I think there's an outside shot. Yeah, there's an outside shot that Doomsday passes Infinity War. Outside shot. I don't know. I just don't know how many people are interested in going to theaters, you know, these days. The clip we just saw from The Devil Wears Prada 2 takes a jab at Miranda struggling to adjust to political correct wording. All right. Not typical for some stuff. That doesn't maybe make me overly excited, but it's fine. But Jon Favreau is here to talk The Mandalorian and Grogu at CinemaCon. Love me some Jon Favreau. Love me some Star Wars. Doomsday is definitely shattering record, especially what I've heard early test screens. I don't know, like, because we're just in a different age right now, you know? Infinity War and Endgame had those 10 years full of good blood and good faith to bring people automatically, right? And people were more willing to go to the movies. Now, in the past year or so, people are starting to come back to the movies, which is really good. But especially recently, too, with Project Hail Mary. But do people want to go see Marvel movies again? I would hope the answer is yes, especially coming off of Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, and also just based off of the footage we've seen so far, it looks beautiful, and it sounds like this movie is going to be really, really fantastic. But, you know, I don't know. That's genuinely, I don't know, you know? I don't know what the general public's audience towards this kind of thing is like anymore. Oh, look at this. Okay, we're about to see a new trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu at CinemaCon. It drops publicly later today. Tickets on sale tomorrow. All right, publicly later today. Publicly later today. Again, I'm not saying that means that there's something definite with Doomsday, or not saying it's not, though. But let me text my friends, actually, just to say, hey, Mando tickets go on sale tomorrow. Okay. Mandalorian and Grogu includes over 40 minutes of expanded aspect ratio sequences. Yeah, so definitely one you want to see in IMAX, if possible, for those expanded aspect ratio sequences. I'm definitely going to try to see that in IMAX. I think a whale follows someone being swallowed by a whale, and it has only a period of time before his oxygen runs out. Oh, okay. That's like a pretty decent premise. Pretty decent low-budget premise. Doomsday right now, checking Rockstar's YouTube or Twitter, but all clips are already shown in previous season. Yeah, they probably just showed a sizzle. That's typical for these panels, is at the beginning to show a sizzle of footage and whatnot that you've already seen for these projects. New trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu will release today online. Yep. Sinners was directed by Ryan Coogler. That made a huge difference. It did. And it made a difference that the movie was fantastic. It definitely does make a difference. But I hope the lesson that studios learn from that is, hey, let's make sure that the script is really good and hire proven talented individuals and let them tell their story they want to tell. You know? I hope we get some news on the Alien Predator franchise. I don't know if we will, if there's any movie coming out within the next year or so, because I think Romulus 2 doesn't come out within the next year, right? I'm guessing we will get the Doomsday trailer to play in front of the Mandalorian and Grogu. Not a bad guess. Not a bad guess at all. I can totally see that, both being, Disney-owned films. I could also see it coming there because they also want to play it in front of Supergirl, another big superhero movie this year. And then, Brand New Day, Odyssey. Not impossible. The Arrowverse kept live-action DC alive during the time of the DCEU. Yeah, I mean, also, I probably wouldn't be as big a superhero fan as I am without Arrow. Arrow was big for me growing up. Huge for me growing up. I mean, it still is. I love Arrow. I understand now, looking back, that it's really not a good adaptation of Arrow at all. But, I think it's still a well-made show, and I look back on it really fondly. Yeah, Doomsday originally was supposed to release before Brand New Day. Thank God that they switched those around. Yeah, for sure. Prada's going to shock some people. Never underestimate excited female fans. Well, I mean, yes, but also, I don't think you gotta be a woman to enjoy Devil Wears Prada. That's a good movie, man. That's a good movie. They're watching the opening sequence of Mandalorian and Grogu. Good for them. I'm so happy for them. Not at all jealous at all. Caleb Williams, it's on, man. What's going on, man? That's everything. Tuning in says, do you think the Watcher could appear in Avengers Doomsday? In Doomsday? Is it possible? Sure. I don't know if it's likely he'll show up in Doomsday. I think it's, for me at least, in my opinion, I think it's almost a definite he shows up in Secret Wars. I think it just makes so much sense for him to show up in Secret Wars. That might be a bad sign. Will they want another massive trailer seeing the limelight? Maybe. Or is it releasing later today and not right now because they want to release Doomsday first? But I think both theories are both valid right now. I'm leaning towards what you just said, that they might not want Doomsday to kind of steal the limelight. And the trailer did literally just drop. Okay. So, I'm trying to think. Should I put the trailer on now? Or should I wait to put in the Mando trailer until after the Doomsday stuff is done? Just in case for the stream. I don't think the stream would be taken down regardless, but... in case, we'll see. Up to you guys, actually. Let me know in the chat. Do you want me to pull up the Mando trailer and watch it now, or pull up the Mando trailer at the end of the stream after we know whether or not there's a Doomsday trailer? Let's go, gamers. What's going on, man? Hell, man, been a while. It has been a while. Hope everything's going well with you as well. Do you think we will get something tonight, or do you think D23 or San Diego more likely? I think San Diego is more likely than D23. I think San Diego makes the most sense. D23 might be a little too long to wait. And San Diego Comic-Con is just, it's San Diego Comic-Con. It's not impossible that we get something today, though. It's not impossible. Now, we're just mentioning that with the Mando trailer just dropping, will they want to also release the Doomsday trailer to kind of maybe overshadow it? Maybe not. Maybe not. I hope that Supergirl does decent enough at the box office, or people will continue to say that people don't care about female superheroes. I think it will. I think it's going to be in that 500 million mark, which is just fine. I think it's going to be a really good movie, so I think word of mouth is going to be really good. I think people are excited about it just on the basis that it looks good, that it's Supergirl, and that Superman was so good. People have really high excitement for the DCU going forward, so they want to see Supergirl because of that. People are saying now, all right, we'll pull it up now. The Mando trailer. New poster for Mandalorian and Grogu. That looks pretty cool. It's actually a really nice poster. I like it. Okay, once the trailer starts, both the streams should be able to hear it. The main like full screen trailer stream and the and the YouTube Shorts stream. If you can't hear it, let me know. And I will have to talk a little bit over it just on the basis that copyright, All right, so I'm going to switch to this real quick just to pull up the trailer. We're not going away from the panel at all. We're just pulling up the trailer. Star Wars videos. Mandalorian Grogu final trailer. Okay. Let me do that. And let me also... I don't know if you guys even hear the background music, but let me turn that off. All right. Full screen. Let's go back to the trailer. Let's go. Here you go. And let's play the trailer. Like I said, I'm going to have to talk a little bit over it. But let's play it. Okay. So that's the poster. Oh, we got Star Wars music. I got to talk over the Star Wars music. Mandalorian. He looks great. I only hunt Imperial war criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck. All right. Mando loading up his weapons. Embo. Fire. This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing another... Hey, let me know what the audio sounds like, if I need to raise it or not, or if it's good enough. Can't be too loud because again, copyright, but good some nice X-wings there. So that's where Zeb's gonna show up, probably. Yeah, there he is. My main man, Zeb. Babu Freak species. I don't remember the name of his species. Hyperspace. Rada. I want to hear what Rada sounds like. Because it's Jeremy Allen White voicing Rada the Hutt. What happens when you're not there to protect him? Embo and his wolf. Nice. Nice. That's like a fun sequence. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun sequence. Raise it a little bit? Alright, I'll raise it a little bit. Let me know how it sounds now. Imagine Mando dies in this movie. That'd be insane. Zeb. Are you scared? You should be. Stormtroopers. A stab. Nice. This is the way. I just look like a fun movie. I'm really excited. I don't need it to be any more than just a fun movie. And it looks like that's what we're getting, and that's really hype. That's all I really need. It doesn't need to be this, deep, psychological, subtextual piece. Like, it can just be a fun adventure movie for the family, and I think that's what it is, and that's really exciting. To me, at least. I hope Avengers is next. It'll probably be the last thing if I had to guess, and end on Doomsday, probably. Was Shao Ball Silver Surfer ever confirmed for Doomsday? No, she was not. Have you heard playing X-Men Cyclops in the X-Men movie? Want to comment on that? Have heard you were playing Cyclops in the X-Men movie. Want to comment on that? No comment actually. I'm contractually obligated to say I plead the fifth on that one. Ify Woo, how everything's tuning in. Will there be a trailer for Avengers Doomsday, folks? Maybe, maybe not. And I know that's not a great answer, but it's the only answer we have. There has been no confirmation or announcement that there will be a trailer here. People have been running with that online when it's not been the case. It's possible that there is, but it's also possible that it's just shown to people in attendance. Like here, they're watching the opening of Mandalorian and Grogu. We're not going to get to see that, right? That's not something for the public, but it's something they're being shown. So it could be that as well with the Doomsday trailer. They see footage from Doomsday. We don't. So it looks like a glorified Disney Plus special made for theaters. I think that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Honestly. Like, I would love to see more episodes of television in theaters as well. Like, show the finales in the trailers, please. Doctor Who used to do that a little bit. I think they did that for Ahsoka. The episode that Anakin was in, they released it in theaters, in select theaters. I want more of that. Like, why not do more of that? I think this should be the same way. Like, Mandalorian, the show, really was never this, like, in-depth, Emmy-winning writing sort of story, and that's okay. That's never what it was meant to be. And the movie's kind of the same. It feels like the show, but that's fine, It's kind of exactly what I was expecting from a Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and I think that's a good thing. It's a fun time for friends. For the family, for anybody that just wants to go to the movie and have a fun time watching a Star Wars movie. Or even the main villains, and what is the actual story besides the theme of worrying about future's uncertainties? Well, I mean, that's a valid question to have, but I don't think we need to know that right now. Like, I'm okay, personally, and I could be the only one, but I'm okay not knowing until I'm in the theaters, like, what the actual story is. That way I'm not able to predict what happens, right? But it seems like, though, the main villains are Embo, the Hutts, in some capacity. Yeah. This is way better trailer. See, I think all the trailers have been about the same quality, which is perfectly fine. Again, all the trailers to me have been about the same because they all make the movie seem what I always expected it was going to be. Just a 2 and a half, 2 hour Mandalorian story. And I'm cool with that. So wondering who the main villains will be. Silver Jaguar, what's going on? Nice everything tuning in as well. Welcome. Yeah, I think it looks like it's Embo and the Hutts. The Hutts that we saw that was Book of Boba Fett, I think. Who burned on Mando Season 3 really bad. Hey, fair enough. I love Mando Season 3. I really do. I had a really fun time with it. And also, Bo-Katan is one of my favorite Star Wars characters. So I was, like, literally the person that was complaining the least about her getting an elevated role in Season 3. Just because, like, she's my girl. Queen Bo-Katan forever. I could understand why her having an elevated role rubbed other people the wrong way, for sure. I understand, but I really enjoyed Season 3 a lot. So I'm still on that train with Mando. And the movie looks perfectly in line with the show. And for me, that's exactly what I wanted. Do I need to watch anything other than The Mandalorian to see this movie? Do you think I'm so out of the loop on Star Wars and I haven't watched anything since, like, Episode 3 and Season 2 of Mando? I think it's going to be designed in a way to where people who haven't seen the show, or maybe people who haven't really watched anything Star Wars related, or like if they're a kid and haven't seen anything Star Wars yet, you can go to this movie and fully enjoy it and understand it without having known or see anything else. So you can more than likely go into Mandalorian and Grogu not having seen all of Mandalorian. However, I think it would probably behoove you to finish Mandalorian at the very least. I really enjoyed it. I thought Season 3 was still really fun. But I don't think you'll have to. I don't think it's necessary. I think it'll just make the experience probably better, but I don't think it'll be necessary. Embo in The Mandalorian and Grogu. He looks dope. Seeing Embo is awesome. For people watching the YouTube short stream, do you prefer that I just keep it on this screen here? That way I don't have to switch it over every time that I pull up an image like this, or pull up a trailer? Or would you rather me keep it here, and then every time I pull up an image or a trailer, I switch to this? Let me know in the chat for the people watching on the YouTube short stream. Really has soured me on Star Wars live action, but the animation is OMG. Dude, the animation is fire right now. I haven't finished Bad Batch yet. I gotta finish Bad Batch, but Maul Shadowlord is so good. Have you watched Andor, Donovan? You said you were soured on Star Wars live action. Andor, I thought Andor season 1 is fine. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Andor season 1 in the sense that I think it's good. Like, I don't think it's the best thing in the world, but I think it's good. Season 2, however, not to overhype it, season 2 is so damn good. Especially the last 5 episodes of Andor season 2 it's like a generational 5 episodes in my opinion. Season 1, you said Andor was so boring, couldn't get through the first episodes, you found it overrated. Just wasn't for you? Fair enough. And see, I wish more people had that mindset, Donovan. That is a very mature, civil mindset to have, just to say, it wasn't for me. More people got to have that mindset and just calling everything trash that they don't like, or watching things knowing that they won't like it. Fair enough, though. Fair enough. I also really enjoyed Skeleton Crew. I thought Skeleton Crew was quite a fun, sort of, like, Goonies-esque show. I had a really good time with that, but yeah, fair enough. Dave Filoni and his wolves obsession, what else do you call it? I call it a match made in heaven, Thomas. I really like his wolf obsession, honestly. It's pretty cool in the Star Wars world. I do expect a public poster for Doomsday, to be honest. I think that's a solid bet. Not sure about the trailer. Maybe that's something they would just keep for people in attendance if they show anything at all. Yeah, I think they definitely show footage. I would be shocked if people in attendance don't see some sort of footage for Avengers Doomsday. But I think you're right on the fact that a poster for the public is most likely what we'll get. Want that it makes it look cheap? I don't think it looks cheap at all. In reference to Mandalorian and Grogu just looking like a hour and a half, 2 hour long Mandalorian story. I think it looks fine. Like, it's not the best cinematography in the world. You know, it's not winning any Oscars, but I think it's fine. It's what the Mandalorian and Grogu looks like. You know, like it's what it's always looked like. I don't know if I'd want a Mandalorian and Grogu movie to look different than the show. You know, I don't think I wouldn't want it. That doesn't mean I wouldn't want it or would be opposed to it, but I have nothing against it looking like the show because that's just how it's always looked and how it's always felt. I think it's a good sign that tickets are coming out about 5 weeks before Mando and Grogu come out. Yeah, I agree. I'll hopefully get my tickets this weekend. Nerd Harticall, thanks to Happy Man, thanks for tuning in, says, does anyone know the name of the original live stream and where I can watch it? You can't. There is no original live stream. CinemaCon does not, and most conventions do not stream the panels themselves. So this is the best that we have, is pulling up Twitter accounts of people who are there in attendance and reacting to their live tweets, unfortunately. Doomsday, hopefully soon. My guess is that it'll be the last piece of the panel, because I think you end on Doomsday. You end on the big one. So on the Warner Brothers panel, they ended on Dune, I believe, and that makes sense. Jumper 15, they're sticking to December 18th. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the likely scenario of what they'll do. However, I think that they probably should move it up. But I think the likely scenario is that they just stick to December 18th. When will this panel end? This panel was scheduled to be about 2 hours. It started 30 minutes later than expected. It started around 6, so it started around 30 minutes ago, it seemed. So roughly another hour and a half, give or take. Maul Shadowlord to me is my Andor. I'm more into the mythical side of Star Wars of the Sith and Jedi. Oh, me too, man. Me too. 1000%. That's why Andor season 1 was below some other things in regards to Star Wars TV shows. Still above The Acolyte, of course. But yeah, I'm fully with you. Like, my favorite part of Star Wars is this Jedi and Sith mythology and everything regarding Jedi and Sith, for sure. So I'm with you in the sense that Andor season 1 I thought was perfectly fine, overhyped, but still pretty good. But that's what I'm saying. Like, even I'm saying the second season of Andor, especially the last 5 episodes, are just fantastic. But this still could not be your thing, and that's totally okay. But I'm with you in the sense that I am all about the Jedi and Sith side of Star Wars. Give me as much of that as possible. Like, even Acolyte, which was not a great show. I rewatched it a couple months ago. Really not great. The lightsaber fights are... I'll say it. The lightsaber fights in the Acolyte are the best lightsaber fights since Revenge of the Sith. They're not better than the prequels. Don't misunderstand my language here, but damn, are those lightsaber fights so freaking good in the Acolyte. So good. Oh, I was really looking forward to the Acolyte. I really was. Yes, Marvel will be at this panel, Jacob. Most likely just Doomsday. And what with Doomsday, we don't know. It could be as simple as a poster to the public, could be a trailer, could be somewhere in between. Who knows? But yeah. I actually thought Andor Season 1 was better. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. And see, that's the great thing about art, is it's all subjective, right? So, you know, I could find Andor Season 2 better. You can find Andor Season 1 better, and that's perfectly okay. And neither of us is wrong, right? Because it just depends on who's watching. It depends on the viewer. Everything's going to hit everyone differently. What's up, Duolingo? Was refreshing my Twitter and realized I could tune in here. What's good? What's good, Duolingo? What's going on, man? Nice to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good one. I also have a live stream up for like the full screen instead of just YouTube Shorts. So if you want to jump over to that one, the link to that is in the pinned comment and also in the description. Lewis, what's going on? Nice to have everything tuning in. Says welcome back. Says the last 3 episodes of Book of Boba Fett are a must see after Mando Season 2. I like Book of Boba Fett. Hot take. I like Book of Boba Fett. Now, are the last 3 the best episodes? Yeah. Are they pretty much Mando episodes? Yeah. But overall, I think the show's pretty solid. All right, Toy Story 5 is up next. All right, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this for the YouTube Shorts side of things. What's up? What's up, Forever Raves? As a everyone, thanks for tuning in. Welcome. Actually, because of that, let me add the live chats to the YouTube Shorts. Give me 1 second here. I can move this up to there. And then add the other chat. Cool. I can move this up to about there. And then, oh wait, I'm gonna need to scale it down. Scale it down some more. All right, perfect. Loving the animated Star Wars stuff so far. Saw some scenes of the mall show and can't wait to see it. Oh, it's so good. Looks amazing. The last live action stuff I saw was Mando Season 3 and some episode of Andor. Good stuff. Yeah, Maul Shadow Lord is so good. It's a beautiful show. The Star Wars animation style is my favorite animation style. I mean, Maul is slightly different in terms of its art style. It's a little more painterly, which is so cool. But like Bad Batch, Clone Wars Season 7, the Tales of, miniseries, anthologies, and Maul. I'm biased, obviously, because it's Star Wars, and Star Wars is my favorite thing, like, ever, but Star Wars animation is just my favorite animation style. You really can't be beat. But yeah, Maul is really good. Highly recommend it. Mando Season 3, I really like that as well. And yeah, I would stick around with Andor, because I think it only gets better. I really think it only gets better. What was your favorite Bullseye kill? Ooh. I mean, the diner sequence as a whole, absolute cinema. Absolute peak. I think my favorite kill, though, might be the tooth. I still think that is just a crazy kill from last season when you just spit his tooth into someone's eye. I think that's just crazy. I couldn't even think of that. That's crazy. I think I might have to give to that one off the top of my head. Bonnie gets addicted to doom scrolling apps on her lily pad. She's literally me. Nah, that makes sense, though. I think when they announced Toy Story 5, I was like, do we really need this? And I said that for Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 I really, really like. But I think the route they're taking with the story with Toy Story 5 is actually very topical, especially for children these days. So I think it's a good direction. I think it was a good choice. Gotta check out for Junior Firefield drill. Have a great night, guys. Good night, Shin. Good luck with the drill. Appreciate tuning in, man. What are your thoughts on the Street Fighter trailer? I haven't seen it. I'm not a Street Fighter fan. I'm not a Street Fighter hater. I just was never a part of that fandom. I never played the games. Well, not say never. I played it a couple times at my friends' places, but yeah, I'm not a Street Fighter guy, so I don't really have an opinion. Embo looks so good, bro. He translates so well in live action. He really does, man. He really does look so good. Oh, it's so hyped. Embo in live action. It's like, I understand it's like technically a gulp shit out for Star Wars fans, but I don't care. It is so cool. It is so hyped to see Embo in live action. I can't wait. It would be super fun if they do not show anything from Doomsday, but just talk about some other projects like Blade, or announce some new weird project like a Ghost Rider movie or something. See, that would be really fun, but really unlikely, because CinemaCon is not the place for that. It's just for, typically just for movies that are coming out within the next year and starting production within the next year. And I don't think either of those would start production within the next year, unfortunately. I'm hoping a trailer of Doomsday, the 5-hour live stream they did last, still gave me chills. Yeah, man, I was there. I missed like the first 2 chairs because I think I just wasn't awake, and then I woke up and hop on YouTube, and I was like, "What is this?" And I was on that stream for the rest of the stream, and I was on a call with 2 of my friends where we were just chatting with the stream in the background, like, "Oh, it's a new chair." No, that stream was hype. Like, it was a little silly and dumb, sure, but that was a fun time. That was a fun time watching that stream. Attendees say that the sizzle reel showed a Doomsday countdown with 0000000. Interesting. Let's not look into that right now. Let's not think too hard into that one. Let's keep it in the back of our minds. Let's acknowledge that that is a thing that happened, right? Let's acknowledge that that has happened, and that they saw that at the scissor reel, but let's not look into it too much. Let's not give too much thought into it. Excited for Punisher and Spidey meeting a brand new day. Hoping for a Defenders movie with the old Defenders plus Spider-Man and Moon Knight in it. Would love to see it. All the cards are in place for it, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, that's what I was hoping Brand New Day would be. Well, I was more so just hoping it would be Spider-Man and Daredevil versus Kingpin. And it sounds like Sony's just being Sony about it. Unfortunately, I would love that though. I would love a Defenders movie. I would love a Defenders and Spider-Man crossover. Moon Knight, I think Oscar Isaac's really good in it. It's one of my less favorite Marvel shows. But I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him show up in other places. But I would love a Spider-Man Defenders crossover. I just want Spider-Man and Daredevil. Like, I understand Matt Murdock was in Brand New Day, or No Way Home, of course. And like, that was a fantastic scene. Hype scene for sure. One of the best cameos, I think, in any superhero show or any superhero project. But I want like Daredevil and Spider-Man to team up and interact. Who is your dream Avengers roster for? Who's your dream Avengers roster for Sam's Avengers? Let me adjust the chat size on the YouTube short stream. My dream Avengers roster for Sam's Avengers. Well, obviously Sam, Hulk probably, right? Hulk, Shuri, Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel's probably on there. Yeah, I don't know if I have a dream roster. It's more just I'm trying to think of like what makes the most sense. I think those would make all those make the most sense. I can't think of any others off the top of my head that would be on that I didn't name. Because, you know, Yelena and Bucky and John Walker, they're all on the new Avengers, you know, the Thunderbolts. Star-Lord's probably not on there on the Avengers side of things. He probably just shows up somehow. Spider-Man's not on there. Right? He's doing his own thing. Yeah, I'd say those. I like the chair watch. It was funny. It was just a silly, fun time. Like, I want more of that. Let's do more fun marketing like that. The chair stuff was genius, to be honest. Had me and your brother staring at the damn screen for hours. For real. Not regretting it one bit. For real. Would not be surprised to see another chair announcement at one point. See, I think it's a one and done thing just because any other announcements would be stuff that they probably want to save for the theater. So, like, Toby and Hugh Jackman being in Doomsday, if they are, they probably want to save that for the theater. A chair stream for Secret Wars likely won't happen because a lot of those characters, they probably want to save for the theater, you know? As great as the chair stream was, I don't know if it happens again. Jeff, what's going on, man? Nice to have you. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Says, I have a feeling Daredevil will make a small... Oh, I still need to make it a little smaller on the other end. There we go. I have a feeling Daredevil will make a small cameo in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Will come in the prison break sequence. Supposedly Matt ends up in prison at the end of season 2. Yeah. You know, it is feeding the cope a little bit. It is feeding my cope that Matt Murdock will be and Daredevil will be in Brand New Day in that sequence. I'm not getting my hopes up over it because I don't want to be disappointed, but my cope has definitely been fueled. Unfortunately, I think. All right, here, Tom Hanks and Tim Allen get a massive standing ovation from the CinemaCon audience. So let's check this out. That's cool. Yeah. I gotta rewatch the Toy Story movies before Toy Story 5. I wonder if we get a Toy Story trailer. I wonder. Because it's 2 months away. I think it's June. Now, if we get a Mando and a Toy Story trailer, does that make it more or less likely, you guys think, for a Doomsday trailer? Does it make it more likely because they're releasing trailers after trailers? Or does it make it less likely because they've already released 2 trailers? If Toy Story releases their trailer. Tim recalls one kid's reaction to their parents saying that he's Buzz Lightyear. That ugly man ate Buzz Lightyear. Probably ain't, maybe? I don't know. That is so funny, though. I think Daredevil and Spider-Man versus Kingpin is inevitable for Spider-Man 5. See, I don't know. Because I don't know what's up with Kingpin after Season 2 of Born Again, right? Kingpin might just be defeated after Season 2. He might not ever be a big bad again. So the time might have passed. Wait, so is it true that attendees can take photos throughout the entire panel? And how long is the panel going to be? Yes. So so attendees can take pictures and videos during the panel, but just not during footage. So, you know, when they were showing the opening of Mandalorian and Grogu, when they were showing that scene from Devil Wears Prada 2, they're not allowed to take photos and videos there. However, it is possible that these things will leak, perhaps. But yeah, they can take photos and videos, which is out of the ordinary for these CinemaCon panels. It's typical for like a Hall H or a D23, but not typical for the CinemaCon these past couple of days. I remember taking a test during the chair stream. Your teacher let you leave it open on your laptop because it was so hyped. That's awesome. That's a great teacher. That's a fantastic teacher. I have not really similar, but I have a similar experience with the Endgame tickets. The day the Endgame tickets were supposed to come out, I was in school, and they didn't come out until like lunchtime for me. Actually, after lunchtime, like third period. So my first period, I had a test. And we had Chromebooks that we were going to work on after the test. So I couldn't focus. I failed that test. Like, straight up failed that test. Rushed through the test. Couldn't think of anything. Failed that test. Handed it in. Got my Chromebook. And was just refreshing Fandango the entire class. Tickets didn't come out. Next class, we happen to be on our Chromebooks again. This is great. Sent the whole class. Refreshing. Actually, now that I think of it, it wasn't until fourth period. Then I had gym, where we couldn't have our phones or anything. So I was stressed out I was stressed out this first 2 periods as well. I was stressed out to no end in gym. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, our ticket's going to sell out? Are they going to drop in? Because the Fandango was just down. It was just down. It was crashed. Lunch, also. It was crashed. It was down. And then luckily, during fourth period, I got tickets. And the rest of the day, I could relax and breathe. But Endgame was a time, man. That was a time. Can you zoom in on the post? Yeah, sure, yeah. What if I do that, Ocean? If I do that for each post on the YouTube Shorts side of things, is that better? Because I also have the option of going here, but then once I click on like a video, it gets cut off because of the YouTube Shorts thing. So then every time I click on a video, I have to switch to here, and sometimes I'll forget. So, what do you think is better for the YouTube Short side of things? Should I stick to this and then switch? So, if this is the option you think I should go with, say switch in the chat. If I should just stick to this one, that way, whenever I pull up a video, it automatically goes full screen, or you can see the whole thing. Stay single. Woody is revealed to have a beer belly alongside a balding head in Toy Story 5. Yeah, we saw that in the trailer, which I think is funny. That's a funny bit. Isn't Spidey still an Avenger? Why is Spider-Man targeted by Mayor Fisk? Doesn't being Avenger negate Kingpin laws? No, I don't think Spider-Man is an Avenger. Because he was only ever knighted an Avenger by Tony. Tony's dead. And none of them remember Peter Parker. They probably remember interacting with Spider-Man during, you know, the fight in Endgame, but that doesn't mean that he was an Avenger, right? So I don't think he really is an Avenger. Also, welcome David Cargill. Nice to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I don't think it means that Spider-Man's an Avenger still. If we could again have Daredevil be in prison at the end of season 2 and have Spider-Man break him out in Brand New Day because the general audience won't know what's going on. Yes, exactly. So I don't think he'll break out of prison if he shows up in that sequence. I think he'll still be in prison by the end of it. There's a theory that the Hand is going to prison to break out or kill Matt Murdock, and Spider-Man just happens to be there for whatever reason, which is interesting. So you're saying you think it's more likely that they'll drop another trailer if Toy Story drops their trailer, which so far they haven't, so they might not. RDJ is not on stage right now. Currently, it is Toy Story 5 on stage. Daredevil is a person who was probably cut from trailer of Spider-Man. There are leaked photos of him wearing orange prison suit in prison where Spider-Man is fighting with the Hand Ninjas. Yes, but those photos are from Daredevil Season 3, not Spider-Man. However, doesn't mean that couldn't have filmed it before Daredevil Season 3. Doesn't mean they can't do reshoots currently. Doesn't mean any of that, but those set photos were from Daredevil, not Spider-Man. I hope Colleen Wing and Misty Knight are back for Daredevil 3 or 4. I think there's been a set photo with Colleen Wing for Daredevil Season 3. There haven't been any that I've seen with Misty Knight, so I don't know about her, but I think Colleen Wing is back. As far as a photo that I saw, it could have been a set photo from the old Iron Fist show or Defenders, but I think it was for Daredevil Season 3, and I'm pretty sure Colleen Wing was there, which is exciting. Daredevil, Punisher, and Spider-Man are all together in one movie is pretty much my dream movie for me. Just make them fight against either Tombstone or the Hand, or even better, both of them. I mean, yeah, you're going to get your dream movie then. For me, it's not really. I'm not a Hulk guy, so as soon as I heard Hulk was in it, I was like, all right, that kind of blows. Because I just don't care for Hulk all that much. I know. Apologies. I see that your profile picture is Hulk, but I just never been interested in Hulk. But no, like, I love Tom Holland Spider-Man. One of my favorite live-action characters ever. I just relate to him so much. And people have told me that I remind them of, or Peter Parker has reminded them of me. John Bernthal as Punisher is probably my #1 favorite casting for any comic book character. So seeing them interact is great. I'm a little concerned on him being PG-13, but I think John Bernthal will make it work. I think it'll be fine overall. But yeah, the Hulk part of it kind of... Oh wait, I read... You didn't say Hulk there, you said Daredevil. Then yes, I agree. My brain was working too fast. Yeah, Daredevil, Punisher, and Spider-Man all together in one movie. Yeah, that is my dream Spider-Man movie for sure. 100%. Now, I would say have them fight Kingpin, but I think Tombstone in the Hand can still be a part of that. I just want to see also Tom Holland Spider-Man and D'Onofrio Kingpin interact. Bro, you just reminded me, my entire class took a collective break during class to watch the first Endgame trailer when it came out. Nice. In your country, it came out just as the last class was ending. Good times. That's awesome, man. Something similar happened with the Force Awakens trailer. It was already out by the time we had the class, and I had seen it many times, but my teacher was a big Star Wars fan. She knew I was a big Star Wars fan. So towards the end of class, she stopped everybody. He's like, all right, we're going to watch this Force Awakens trailer. That was pretty cool. Litman Style knows Harriman, thanks for tuning in, says, has there been any Simpson movie news at all? No, there has not. There's not. They did, I think, mention 20th Century Fox or Searchlight before. So they might just not have gotten to it yet. But it has not happened. Not happened yet. Yeah, Sean Bernthal is one of the best castings ever. It really is, man. It really is. He is so damn good. And what's great too is he's just so passionate about the character, which is so rare. Like, when you have someone as that big of an actor, or that good of an actor, and this passionate about the character, it's just a match made in heaven every time. It really is. Do you think that Miss Marvel will show up in Doomsday or Secret Wars? At least one of the two, if not both. And I really hope that she does. I love Kamala Khan. I love Iman Vellani, Kamala Khan. I cannot get enough of her. Everywhere that she shows up, I can't help but enjoy it. Like, The Marvels, not the best movie in the world, but a fun time, mainly because she's just great. Marvel Zombies, a pretty solid show, and her being the protagonist made it all the better. I put her in every project. I don't care if it makes sense or not, just put her in every project, for real. All right, The Rock is here to show us a new look at Moana. I don't think I've seen the original. The live action looks fine, to be fair. It looks fine. I'm sure kids will like it. That's all that matters. Hulk has been underused in the MCU? I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has. I know Hulk fans have not been pleased with how Hulk has been utilized in the MCU. And that is fair. That is fair. But as someone who's never been a big Hulk fan to begin with, I don't have a strong opinion about it. But Woody is Unk in Toy Story 5, balding and having a beer belly. I think that's funny. I'm a big Hulk fan, but I understand your point of view. Don't worry, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and Marvel has not been handling him that well, to be honest. Excited to see him again, though. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're bringing him back to the more savage Hulk that people want and like, so that's cool. That's cool. The Rock shows a photo of his late grandfather, who Maui is based of. When you see me embodying Maui in the live-action version, every word and lyric, that's my grandfather. I mean, that's sweet. That's a sweet sentiment. Punisher Last Kill trailer was great too. I'm excited to see that. That looks fantastic, man. That looks fantastic. I love that they're keeping the more psychological and surreal tone and vibe and style from the original show, which I loved. Yeah, very happy for that. Need to see Cloak and Dagger back? I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. I've only seen the first, I think, 2 episodes of the show when they were first airing, and I thought they were fine. I heard that the director and writers for Thunderbolts are working on the X-Men movie. I can't wait for that. Yes, that is true. This X-Men movie is going to be really freaking good. I'm so happy that Disney and Marvel didn't see Thunderbolts underperforming at the box office and go, well, let's abandon all that. Instead, they saw that people really resonated well with the movie and received the movie well, even though people didn't maybe go see it in theaters. And they went, you know what? This movie was really good. It's really not the filmmaker's fault that people didn't go see this. And it's really well received. Our best received movie recently. Well, let's keep them around, especially for X-Men. Yeah. Can't wait. Really can't wait. Did you watch Secret Invasion? What did you think about it? I did. I thought it was not great. Unfortunately. I had high hopes for that show. I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not great. Thought live action looked terrible, really disappointing. Yeah, fair enough. The wrinkled chip bottom finger, what's up, man? Where is the trailer? Is it coming out, guys? My volcano analyst waiting for getting it there or not. We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. I know there's been a lot of posts online that the trailer is coming today, and it's definitely possible that it does, but it's not confirmed. It's not definitely coming today. I think it's almost definite that the people in attendance at CinemaCon will see some sort of footage, but the public, us, I don't know if we'll get a trailer. It's not confirmed. I'm leaning towards no. I'm leaning towards that we won't get the trailer, but that's not a definite. That's not confirmed. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hot take: live action Moana should not be a maybe because it's still too new. I agree. I don't know if that's a hot take, to be honest. I think most people would agree with you there. Some people think the castle won't work in Brand New Day. Clearly, they forgot how good he was in the animated series. No, I mean, he was great in the animated series. I think my biggest concern with it is just the fact that we've only ever seen this Punisher in an R-rated setting. And we're going right from his R-rated special to Brand New Day. So that tonal whiplash might just be weird. Whereas with the animated series, the only ever time we saw that version of Punisher was in the animated series, right? So I think it's a little bit different, but I think it'll be fine. I think my worries have kind of diminished over time for how the Punisher will be portrayed in Brand New Day. Hope the new X-Men debut with a younger cast and maybe less focus on Wolverine. Love him, but I need my man Cyclops to take the lead. That was one of the reasons why I loved X-Men 7. I fully agree with you. Yeah, I don't want Wolverine gone. I want Wolverine there still because I like their dynamic. Now, I don't think Wolverine and Jean Grey should have that weird like love triangle thing. That's just gross, I think. But I think Wolverine just will be there. But yeah, I fully agree with you. Cyclops and the other members of the team should be the focus. Wolverine, outside of his solo stories, is not the leading person of the X-Men. I mean, there really is no leading character of the X-Men. There's no protagonist. of the X-Men. They all have their role to play, and in certain stories, certain characters are more important than others. Yes, but it's not like a definitive thing where, you know, Cyclops is always the focus, or Wolverine is always the focus. It's always, at least not 97 specifically, it was a really nice blend of focus between characters, and I really hope the movies do that as well, and give all the characters their own time to shine and their own focus, and make it so that they all feel lived in and real and full. Not a trailer. What do you think we'll get on Doomsday? Let's Go Gamers saying maybe a poster before they were thinking. I think that makes sense. A poster feels right. Yeah, honestly. But we'll see. We'll see. How will Billy feel about his mom since he has his memories of his life with Wanda and learning about what she'd done afterwards? You know, that's a great question, and one that I really hope they explore. Agatha was such a great show. I'm really excited for Vision Quest. I think that's going to be really terrific. And I'm so excited to see where they go with Billy and Tommy and Vision if he goes past that, and Wanda when she inevitably comes back. Really looking forward to the future of those characters. Good Boy Gaming, Doomsday will be saved for last. Yeah, I agree. I think it's got to be, right? It's like their big thing. You're not going to end off on an anticlimactic note, right? You got to end off at Doomsday. And that means almost definitely that people in attendance will likely get footage. It just, you know, doesn't mean that we're going to get footage. Don't know. Goes Jonah here today? No, not today. Not today. Really hoping Rogue makes a return, and is that her in the subway scene in Brand New Day trailer? No, it is not her. I'd be shocked if that was her. It'd be a cool thing if they they're obviously they're not going to use that actress, right? Because I doubt that that's an actual actress they cast for Rogue. But it'd be cool if they refer back to that in an X-Men movie after the recast and whatnot. But I doubt that's her. Is Vision Quest this year? I believe it is this year. I believe it's late this year. In the October, November, December range. I think we'll get more info on that most likely at either D23 or CinemaCon. But yeah. I think it is this year, and I'm excited for it. Catherine Lagaya, I don't know if I pronounced that right, joins The Rock on the CinemaCon stage to talk Moana. We're going to get a new look at the film now. All right. Maybe give Wolverine a series if they want to, but not the focus in the movies. I want everyone to breathe in those. A lot of good relationships in the team to explore. 100%. 100% agree. Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to Wolverine solo stories like a show, or honestly, more preferably now, a special presentation for Wolverine. But yeah, for the X-Men movies, focus on other characters. The Wanda Quest trilogy is going to go 3 for 3, bro. It's too big. It really is, man. It really is. Who would have thought that Agatha would be as good as it is? Who would have thought? Prime Steve, Harry playing Rogue. That would be fire. Is it true that everything shown by Disney and CinemaCon will be shown to the public afterwards? They didn't say everything, so I don't know if that's true or not. HM, also welcome back. Nice to have you. Hope you're having a good day. So that's not being confirmed. That maybe is true. Well, actually, not everything. I don't think they're going to release the opening sequence of Mandalorian and Grogu after. But or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they'll release the Devil Wears Prada clip that they showed to the public. But there was the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer that we watched earlier that was released from the part of it where Mando was talked about. Still not a believer that Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. Really? Still not a believer. Hey, man. Good for you. Good for you. I am pretty much a believer. I'm not 100% believer because it's not been confirmed, but I'm 90%, 99% believer. There's just too much evidence for it that I think right at this point, I just got to go in expecting it to be the case. But hey, man. Fair enough. Wonder if they would ever do the Rogue takes Marvel's powers thing. I hope they do. I think that'd be pretty cool. And they can do it now, right? They're in the same universe. So I hope they do have that backstory for Rogue. I hope the Doomsday trailer is shown. Me too, HM. Me too. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I'm not expecting it. I think regardless, it'll be a fun stream if they do or don't. But I think it'd be cool if they do. I wouldn't say no to them releasing it. I love a Wolverine show spanning multiple decades and locations. A few episode arc in Japan before moving on to World War II, for example, would be peak television. That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'd be so down for that. I'd be so down for that. Like, something that's just purely Wolverine focused. It's not taking any attention away from the X-Men necessarily or any other members of the X-Men. Just, Wolverine doing his thing. I think that'd be really cool. I wonder if we would ever get a mystery Marvel movie like Who Killed the Watcher comic. I would be down for it. I think they should. I think they really need to start exploring more genres. I think that's like a slow rollout of what they're doing, right? We have Wonder Man, which is different, and Agatha, which are different from each other. Daredevil Born Again, different than many of those. Punisher, different, right? Fantastic Four is different than those. So I think they are branching out into other kinds of genres and feels and tones. I would love a mystery like that. That'd be really fun. Did you watch Wonder Man? I did. I thought it was really good. Really good. I highly recommend it to people who haven't seen it yet. And I'm really excited that they're doing a season 2. I was nervous that they weren't going to do season 2. And when they announced that, I was really hype. Really hype. All right, The Dog Stars is up next. We're watching the first trailer now. Okay, that's Jacob Elordi and Josh Brolin. All right. You don't really have much to say about that one. So it seems like Star Wars is done. Seems like, Disney is done. Seems like Pixar is done. Perhaps. So now let's take a look back at this picture that they... Oh, I went too far. Right here. So, yeah, 20th Century was... Okay. So I think it looks like we just got Walt Disney Animation and Marvel left after Searchlight, perhaps? Oh, no, that's not the dog one. That's a new one. So perhaps Searchlight, Walt Disney Animation. It's not going to be Zootopia, right? It'll probably be that Hexes that we were talking about earlier. And Marvel. And I think we have roughly an hour left, perhaps? Because originally they said that it started at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, which is when Discussing Film first said it started, I believe. Yeah. I'm not going to say here, but then 30 minutes later at around 6 is when One Take said that it's starting. So maybe we have 30 minutes left. Maybe we have... Oh, they only ordered premiere dates. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you for that clarification. I didn't think of that through. Is Devil Wears Prada that soon? It is, May 1st. Wow. All right. Sick. Hate to keep bombing your feet. Oh, not at all. Not at all. Keep chatting. Keep chatting. But is Madripoor going to play a big part in Vision Quest? There are rumors of that, right? We don't know. There's not a lot that we know about Vision Quest, especially in terms of locations and plot, but there were some rumors of that, and I would love to see it. I think that just visually would be very, very cool to see. Yeah, I'd be down for it. Oh, first trailer for The Dog Stars have been released. All right. Let's give it a watch. Again, I'll have to talk over it periodically just to avoid any sort of copyright, especially because we still want to be around streaming for any possible Doomsday trailer, but let's play it. Let's play it. Jacob Elordi. Who is that? I don't recognize that actress. Cute dog. Oh.
So what'd you do before the world ended?
Before the world ended? Interesting. Not where I thought this was going at all.
I was kissing my wife, playing with my dog.
Interesting.
Wondering every day how I got so lucky.
Oh, Margaret Qualley is in this. It's a Ridley Scott movie?
Have something to haunt you.
What? Is that Wong? I think that was Wong.
Otherwise, you might get lonely.
Margaret Qualley and Jacob Elordi. Interesting.
What's out there? What do you expect to find?
And it's Ridley Scott.
Everywhere.
There's Josh Brolin.
Doesn't exist.
Again, I have to keep talking, especially with the music. I apologize. I know it's annoying.
And everyone else.
Okay.
This world fits you, Bang. Wake up.
Oh, is it zombies?
Survive.
Is it a zombie movie?
There's gotta be something better than this.
The dream.
Or am I just looking at for zombies because I'm a fan of zombie movies. It's an acclaimed novel. Okay, this music is really getting loud here. Let's hope I don't get any notices.
Can we help him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the cast looks great.
She's staying alive.
Guy Pearce, all right. Yeah, Margaret Qualley.
I'm wondering whether or not you're gonna come.
She's great. I would love for her to play Rogue. Allison Janney, all right. Guy Pearce, yeah. Great casts. Great casts. Yeah, like is it zombies? The Dog Stars. Okay. Honestly, that looked better than I was expecting. I knew nothing about that before that trailer, and that looks pretty solid. First trailer for Ridley Scott's The Dog Stars, starring... I'm going to turn that off. Starring Jacob Elordi, Margaret Qualley, and Josh Brolin. The film follows a survivor who sets out to trace its origin of a mysterious radio signal in the apocalypse. Okay. About to watch the first look at Brian Duffield's Whale Fall at CinemaCon. All right. That looks interesting. Do you think the whole cast will show up at Doomsday at CinemaCon? No, I don't think so. I think it seems like it's just the Russo brothers and Chris Evans, which is still pretty cool. But no, the cast will most likely be that's a Comic-Con thing for sure. As a huge Young Avengers fan, I can't wait to see them assemble. Me too, especially after Marvel Zombies. That first episode when a couple of them were together, Cassie Lang, Miss Marvel, and Ironheart, and Kate Bishop. I don't know if Cassie Lang was there, but Kate Bishop, Ironheart, Miss Marvel. I realized how much I want to see a Young Avengers, or most likely called the Champions, since most of them are in their mid to late 20s. But yeah, I really do want to see them all together. Oh, they got Spader back for Vision Quest. They did get James Spader back for Vision Quest. That alone is hype. What's your predictions for what happens in Doomsday? I think Doomsday is likely about the X-Men world and the main 616 world colliding for an incursion. Maybe caused by Doom, but that's not something that the heroes are also privy to early on. We know Loki is involved somehow, so I'm assuming they go to the TVA to try to fix this in some way. With Steve Rogers also being involved, perhaps it is to do with the Fantastic Four world. There's some theories and rumors that Steve is actually living out his life in the Fantastic Four world. I don't know though. It's hard to predict, what happens when we don't even know like any bit about the plot with the trailers. Like the 4 teasers that were shown still really don't give us any real indication of the story, But I think it'll have something to do with obviously incursions and Doom being behind it all and the mastermind, but the heroes don't know that at first. Just need Eli to become Patriot and lead them. See, I think he's unfortunately the least likely to be on the team. He showed up in Falcon and Soldier and hasn't showed up since or been mentioned since, so I don't know if he's really all that likely to even be a part of the team. Locations rumored to be in Doomsday are Earth 616, Earth 828, Earth 10,005, Stephen Peggy's house, Latveria, Void, Negative Zone, interesting, Watcher's Plane, and TVA. What are your thoughts on this rumor? I think 616 obviously makes sense, 828 makes sense, 10,005 makes sense, Stephen Peggy's house, we already know is confirmed, Latveria makes sense, the Void makes sense. Negative Zone is interesting though, that's interesting. Watcher's Plane is also interesting, and TVA makes sense. Yeah, I don't have much thoughts other than those all make sense, other than, like I said, the Void and Watcher's Plane. Those are interesting, and the Watcher's Plane could be really cool visually. Especially, maybe like Loki and the Watcher have a scene together, perhaps, in one of these movies, in Doomsday or Secret Wars, since Loki's the one kind of holding the multiverse together. That could be cool. Yeah, that sounds cool if that's all true. Do you think they will ever use Power Broker and Madripoor again? Well, Madripoor is rumored to be in Vision Quest. Power Broker, I don't know. I think if Madripoor does show up in Vision Quest, that's the most likely place for the Power Broker to show up. However, I don't know how likely that is, that the Power Broker still shows up, even though Madripoor could be in Vision Quest. Arthur, what's going on, man? Nice to have you. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in. Says, out of the current castings, who do you think is most likely to die in Doomsday? Ooh, in Doomsday specifically. Well, I think anyone who dies in Doomsday likely comes back in Secret Wars and beyond. Is like, brought back and revived. But to die in Doomsday out of the announced cast, I mean, Charles Xavier, Ian McKellen, Charles Xavier, Magneto, I think are two prime candidates. I think Ghost is probably a prime candidate. Red Guardian. Again, I think most of these characters, if not all of them, will come back in some way post Doomsday. But I think they are prime candidates. Bucky, maybe. I don't know what else you really do with Bucky moving forward. Yeah, I would say all of them. If the Powerpuff Girls were ever put into any of the major universe, which you think they fit better, DC or Marvel? I think DC, actually. I think DC. I think in Powerpuff Girls feels like they would be like a Teen Titans adjacent group. Like they'd cross over with the Teen Titans, but kind of have like beef with the Teen Titans. So I'm gonna say DC. Brian Duffield's new movie Whalefall follows a scuba diver swallowed by a sperm whale and has only 1 hour to escape as he gets digested. That's not an uninteresting plot. Okay, now they're watching a new clip for Wild Horse 9, which was this movie here. Zerk says that Haverman, they tuning in, says apparently Paramount was here. If so, I can't wait for Sonic 4. Paramount had their panel, I think, either earlier today or yesterday. But I don't know what was said there. I'm not a big Sonic guy, so I haven't been paying attention to anything Sonic related. If they do make him Patrick, I feel like they'll recast like they did Cassie. Probably, yeah, probably. Just because it's been so long from the show, and I don't know if they cast him in the show intending for him to play Patriot. I'm not sure Sadie Sink is Jean and Brandon Day. It's a good theory, but I don't know. But assuming she is, why are mutants just now popping up in the MCU, in your opinion? Would like to hear any theories about it. I don't know if they're just now popping up. I think it could be a thing of... Well, it could be two things. It could be they're not just now popping up. It's just that Jean Grey was born, and she's just kind of been on the run. And other mutants have just kind of been working in secret. But I mean, there's also been that long-standing theory that the snap from Infinity War / Endgame, Endgame more likely, is what causes the mutant gene. So it could be a situation where every mutant is someone, and not every mutant is someone that was blipped and brought back. That doesn't mean that every person that was blipped and brought back is a mutant. Does that make sense? Could be that. Could be that. It's like Iron Legend, but different. Yeah, that's kind of the feel that I got with that Dog Star trailer. A Disney zombie movie? Well, technically a 20th century, I think, zombie movie. Can you like play without talking? I wish I could. I wish I could. If I played it without talking, the Doomsday trailer, if that does release, I will. Maybe I'll say one thing here and there that's like exciting or that I noticed as I watch, like to point something out. But I have to talk during the trailers just for copyright reasons, just so the stream doesn't get flagged or taken down, especially as we're waiting on a possible Doomsday trailer. I have to be overly cautious. I hate how fan theories are so good and Marvel won't use them. The snap causing mutants is so genius. Well, I don't know. Like, it's a good theory and could be used well, but there's also nothing wrong with mutants just existing, Because the whole thing is that they're mutants, right? So they are just one day gonna pop up, right? So yeah, I don't think there's really any better or worse theory or answer, to be fair. Maybe Raiders, but they kind of looked a little zombie-esque or infected-esque. Searchlight Pictures upcoming slate. All right, Super Troopers 3, Wild Horse 9, Behemoth, and Sweet Stick in post-production. Behemoth also in post-production. Haven't heard of any of these, honestly. I didn't know Super Troopers 3 was even happening. That's pretty cool. That looks fantastic. It looks pretty good. And also, hot take, after watching the first episode of Euphoria Season 3, which was not good, but for whatever reason, Jacob Elordi's performance in that made me go, maybe he could be a really good Batman for the DCU. I gotta pay closer attention to Jacob Elordi right now. Probably Whale Falls about whale documentary. See, I thought so too. Like, based off of this, I was like, oh, that's a documentary. Doesn't seem like it. Does not seem like his documentary. Chris Evans is there with the Russos? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. It seems they're going in order of premiere date, in which case Doomsday would be the third to last movie covered today. Third to last. Going off of this, right? The Ice Age and Gato. Right. Yeah, if they are going through all this, which seems like they might be. Well, didn't they just show Wild Horse 9? Yeah, they just said Wild Horse 9, which means, based off of this, they're not going into Super Troopers. They just are talking, like, they mention Super Troopers here, but they're not going into Super Troopers necessarily. Yeah. It might be third to last. They might skip right to just do all these since they're all Pixar. Well, Pixar maybe did Toy Story, but yeah, regardless. They might save it for last and just skip to all these first, get through all them, and then save that for the big one. You know, the big ending. Because the Warner Brothers trailer, not that they have to follow Warner Brothers, but the Warner Brothers panel, they saved Dune for last, even though they talked about some movies that are coming out after. You know, like the cast for Lord of the Rings, for The Hunt for Gollum. All right, here's Hexed. Haley Steinfeld and Rashida Jones will star in Hexed. That's fire. I'm a big fan of both of them. Sounds good to me. Imagine the groans of MJ new boyfriend is revealed to be named Paul. That would be so funny. I really hope it is. I genuinely hope it is. Now, I'm not a comic reader. I've heard the hate around Paul, and I think it's so funny and like justified. But I think that'd be so freaking funny if his name is Paul. Also, like, I love Amon Esfandi, the actor playing him. He played live action Ezra in Ahsoka, and he was so good. So, like, I'm low key team his character. I think that'd be so funny though if his name was Paul. I would laugh so hard in the theater. Do you think the Avengers will lose again? I do. I think the Avengers lose big time at the end of Doomsday. And I think some of them will be Team Doom, and they'll technically win. Is Comic-Con this year? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Here, I can pull up the exact dates. Now, we don't know the exact day or time for any of the panels, but SDCC. But also, that being said, Marvel Studios is typically the main Saturday night panel. So, San Diego Comic-Con is July 23rd to 26th. So, likely, not confirmed, but likely, Marvel's Hall H panel, if they go, which they likely will be July 25th. First look at Disney Animation's new original Hexed follows a girl who discovers she may have access to magic and sets out on an adventure with her mom, starring Haley Steinfeld and Rashida Jones. Sweet. That sounds cool to me. After this will be the Wild Horse 9 film and probably finally Doomsday. We will see. Really hope Owen Wilson returns in Doomsday. Mobius is one of my favorite characters in the MCU, and I really wanted to see what he's been doing since Loki ended. Yeah, I'm with you. I would love to see Mobius return in Doomsday and or Secret Wars. I mean, B-15 returned in Deadpool and Wolverine, right? So I think B-15 is very likely. So along with her, why not throw Mobius in there? They're releasing a lot of trailers for some of the movies. Do you think they'll do the same with Doomsday? It's impossible to say. Like, I don't know if them releasing a Mando trailer and releasing the Dog Star trailer is good or bad for Doomsday. I think they're all kind of independent of each other. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it means one way or the other when it comes to Doomsday. If Charles does die in Doomsday, it would be 4 movies in a row, not counting Days of Future Past, he dies in, which is funny, and which is why I think he does die. Because that would be hilarious. AJ, when will it start? Time zone? It has already started. The panel's happening. It's a Walt Disney panel, not a Marvel panel. So they're talking about all their different divisions and studios under Disney. They're likely saving Doomsday for last or close to last. Whalefall is definitely a weird concept for a Disney movie. Well, again, they're not Disney movies necessarily. They're just studios owned by Disney. So this is a I think a 20th century film. So it's really not a Disney movie necessarily. Like, technically, yes, it is, but it's really not. Optimus 9 is Martin McDonagh's new movie. Oh, wow. Martin McDonagh and Ridley Scott in the same year. That's actually pretty big. Wait, digested by a whale, so One Piece Season 2. One Piece Season 2 lied, and Pinocchio, right? I don't know One Piece, so I don't get that reference, unfortunately. When is Doomsday coming up? Likely last. Likely last. There's nothing wrong with the mutants just existing, so Wholesome, not gonna lie. Hey, man. That's what you come to the channel, right? Like, for the progressive takes. Mutants, let mutants exist. I said it. There you go. You can quote me on that. You can quote me on that. I think mutants should just be able to exist. Yeah. Hot take, maybe. Alright, yeah. So it looks like they're saving Doomsday for last, because now they're talking about Ice Age. First look at Ice Age 6 Boiling Point in theaters February 2027. Ice Age 6. I don't think I've seen 4 or 5. Little baby Scrat. Yeah, Doomsday's got to be last then. I also support the theory related to Thanos and the appearance of mutants. At the end of the first season of Ms. Marvel, it was said that she was diagnosed with some mutations, so she's probably the first mutant of Earth 616. Maybe. It might be a thing where it all happened at once, right? Like, if Jean is in Brand New Day, they're about the same age, Ms. Marvel and Jean, so they probably became mutants around the same time. First mutant that shows up. Oh, let me clear that. First mutant that shows up, like, for us, but it might be a thing where mutants kind of all happened at once. Did you watch the movie Go? I recommend it. It was pretty solid. I did not, but I hadn't heard anything about it in terms of, like, reviews until you just commented, so I'm glad to hear it was pretty solid. Maybe I'll have to give it a watch. Excuse me. Is it possible that Doom appears in Wakanda and steals the stones from Thanos? The Thor teaser appears to happen in Infinity War when Thor has Stormbreaker. Is it possible that Doom appears in Wakanda and steals the stones from Thanos? Well, like, they go back to Infinity War in Doomsday? That would be interesting. But remember, Thor still has Stormbreaker at the end of Thor 4. At the end of Thor 4, Thor steals Stormbreaker, or Thor wields Stormbreaker, and Love, his daughter, wields Mjolnir. So that necessarily doesn't mean that they go back to Infinity War. Didn't Gunn say he wanted a middle-aged Batman? I honestly don't know. It's possible he did. I don't know. All I know is my number one fan cast for Batman is still Alan Ritchson. I think he'd be just absolutely perfect, like almost too perfect, which is why it's not going to happen. And unfortunately, the fan cast has gotten too big. But Alan Ritchson, I think, would be fantastic. But if they want a little bit of younger Batman around David Corenswet's age, I think Jacob Elordi's not bad. He's 4 years younger than Corenswet, but they look about the same age. So, Queen Latifah, Dennis Leary, Ray Romano are here to show us the opening scene of Ice Age Boiling Point. Let's go. That's crazy this franchise is still happening. Honestly, good for them. Good for them. Yeah, there is another Ice Age movie. I also thought it was over, but I guess not. Boiling Point, right? So this is the end of the Ice Age, I would think. So is this the last Ice Age movie, perhaps? I don't know. If the mutants appear because of the snap, then how will they explain stuff like Apocalypse thousands of years before the mutants should exist from the start? Well, yeah, see, like, I think that's why it's kind of dumb if... No, I don't want to say that definitively. It all depends on how it's executed, so I'm going to leave all my opinions and expectations at the door, but that's why I think it's kind of dumb that they're introducing Jean Grey in Brand New Day if she is Jean Grey, because the easiest explanation for this was in the new timeline post Secret Wars, mutants just exist now and always have, just like how the Fantastic Four will likely have always just existed in this timeline, right? Like, that just is so simple and easy, but that might not be the route they're going. Everyone loses but Doom. Agreed. Doom, I'll say Doom and his team. I think Doom will have some people on his side. Comic book fan 445, welcome to Saturday. Thanks for tuning in. Says, I'm still hoping for Daredevil and Brand New Day. After that spoiler Mike Coulter posted, it's pretty obvious now considering that BTS photos Matt in prison uniform. You know, it's still not confirmed with that, so I'm not getting my hopes up, but like it does fuel my cope that Matt Murdock is in Brand New Day as much as I really want him to be in Brand New Day and in that sequence. But I don't want to get my hopes up because it's not confirmed, but like stuff's lining up. And I hate that it's lining up because now I'm getting my hopes up over something that likely won't happen. What do you think the opening scene of Doomsday could be? I think, honestly, it's likely the rumored opening scene. And I'm not going to say what it is in case some people don't know because it's a really freaking cool opening scene that, honestly, I wish I didn't see the rumor of if it's true. So, if you know, you know. If you don't, you're lucky. Oh, Hex was announced as a teenage boy and his mom. Guess they changed it? Yeah, I guess so. I'm not opposed to that. Love Haley Steinfeld. So, W. Haley Steinfeld. Still a weird concept? Oh, yeah, still a weird concept for sure. Whalefall we're talking about. Whalefall is like a based on a biblical where Jonah gets swallowed by a whale. Oh, right. That makes sense. The first scene in Doomsday will probably involve an incursion on one of the Earths, probably Doom's Earth. Perhaps. Chat is glitching. Why is there? Yeah, that's my bad. That was on my end. This is my first time I'm ever streaming regularly and to YouTube Shorts at once. So, a little rough around the edges. But I think overall it's working pretty solid. Namor called himself a mutant on Black Panther 2. Did he? It's been a while since I've watched that, but interesting. I did not know that. Do you have any thoughts on Paul Kelly's Batman? I do. Not really, because I haven't seen him in anything, so I can't really have an opinion. But I think that, like, he looks fake. And I know that sounds so weird, but in every photo of him I've seen, he looks fake. Something about his eyes, he just looks fake. He doesn't look bad. Oh, okay, Marvel Studios not presenting at Comic-Con. Okay, before we get into the Marvel Studios side of this panel, we have 131 people watching on the regular stream here, and we got 16 people watching on the YouTube short stream. Anybody who has tuned in and who isn't subscribed already, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to do a live stream exactly like this for San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel and DC panels, for D23 Marvel panel. And also, I plan on uploading videos consistently again within the next couple months. I think they're going to be really good quality. So if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified when those videos and streams eventually happen. But also, just thank you everybody who's tuned in so far. I really do appreciate it. This has been a really fun stream. And it's not fun without you guys here chatting and talking and hanging out. So yeah, just wanted to say that before the Marvel part of the presentation started. But yeah, Paul Kelly just feels fake. And not on the bad, like and I'm not saying that in a negative way towards him, but it just, like, yes, objectively looks a lot like comic Bruce Wayne and Batman, but I just can't, like, buy into his eyes. I don't know, like, his eyes just feel blank. No offense to him. Suri's a great guy and a great actor. Whalefall sounds awesome. That movie's 1000% up your alley. I love a good horror movie. There you go, man. You might love Clayface, too, based off of the description of the footage for Clayface. Sadly, think Ant-Man is a goner in Doomsday. That's not unlikely, and I also think that is sad. I love Paul Rudd's Ant-Man. Disney has announced Infinity Vision, a way for audience to find premium formats for Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday? What does that mean? Infinity Vision. Is that because it's not going to be at IMAX in America? Let's reread this here. Disney has announced Infinity Vision, a way for audience to find premium format screens for Avengers Doomsday. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know what that means at all. Like, if you guys maybe understand that, maybe I'm missing something. That doesn't make sense. Jake Gyllenhaal as DC Batman, that's a great cast too. I would not be opposed to that in the slightest. That'd be great. That's you're not gonna lie. Alan Richardson would be perfect for Batman, especially for the absolute Batman. Even for regular Batman. I mean, he has to slim down a little bit, but, like, the way he acts in Reacher is practically just Batman. And we know he has the range to just tweak the Reacher performance to be Batman and Bruce Wayne. He actually has really good range. He'd be such a good Batman. Such a good Batman. It's not gonna happen, though. All right, Kevin Feige It's now on stage at CinemaCon. Movies are meant to be seen on the big screen. True, Feige. Hot take, Feige, but he's right. Avengers Doomsday, only in theaters, December 18th. That's a lot of green there. A lot of green. Did not know Ice Age was still alive. Thought they canceled it when the studio got sold. Me too. Glad to see it's still alive. Grew up with those movies. Yeah, no, I'm glad they're still making movies for sure. She wouldn't be the first mutant if she is Jean. Kamala was confirmed to be a mutant in 616, even though she isn't a human in comics. Yeah. Did they go to space in Ice Age? No way. That's crazy. Well, the real Ice Age lasted 100,000 years, so Ice Age movies for a while. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, that's a good point. Fair enough. Doomsday, yeah. They're doing Doomsday here. All right. The Avengers Endgame theatrical re-release will include deleted scenes and other surprises. All right. I was gonna see it anyway. Like, you don't have to butter us up with that. I was going anyway. That's exciting that it's being re-released. I have a theory about Secret Wars actually revolving around a bigger threat than Doom, like maybe Molecule Man, or someone like that, with Doom seemingly the big bad until the bigger one's revealed. See, I don't think so. I think there's just no point in that, in the sense that, like, that's not a lot of time to introduce and then deal with a new character while also dealing with and giving time and care to the other characters that are in the movie, you know? So people are saying RDJ is there, people are saying. Neither of these accounts have posted that, but I'm not saying you guys are lying. I trust you guys. And Lewis might be right here. I'm not saying that I'm not saying they're doing the trailer. All right? I'm not saying that. But I think when they do eventually release a trailer, if it's at a big convention like this, RDJ would have to be there. It just makes sense. So, we'll see. We'll see. Okay? Do not get your hopes up. Kevin Feige says Avengers Doomsday picks up right after Endgame. Endgame is coming back to theaters in September. W. How about that Avatar leak? I didn't watch it, but I heard good things. But I did not watch the Avatar leak. I'm going to wait for the movie to fully release to watch it. Do you think Tobey Maguire Spider-Man will be in Doomsday? Sorry if I butchered it. No, you're good. I do think he will be in Doomsday. I do. Should we expect the Clayface trailer by next week? No, I don't think so. I mean, it's kind of obvious since usually they drop it online a few days or weeks after a showcase. Not always. Not always. I don't think so. Clayface is more of a low-budget movie. They don't have to start marketing it now. It doesn't come out until October, so they could wait a little bit. And also, they might want to wait to release any official footage or trailer for Clayface, a more horror, scary, dark movie, until Supergirl is out. That way, you know, parents don't see that and say, well, I'm not taking my kids to a DC movie, even though obviously that's ridiculous because they're two different movies, but because they would be confused about tones. Yeah, people are saying there's a Chris and RDJ photos, so lack of IMAX hope. It is lack of IMAX hope. Maybe to find Dolby and Screen X screenings, probably. Disney dropped the ball to IMAX with IMAX or Doomsday. Yeah, they did. It would be funny if in Doomsday we see the return of OG White Nick Fury. I don't think we will. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say David Hasselhoff is not gonna be in Doomsday as Nick Fury. We won't get a Vision Quest update here. This is just for movies. Vision Quest update will likely be at Comic-Con, I would say. Miles Morales and Secret Wars, maybe a hint at him. Maybe a hint at him. It depends on what Sony wants to do with him. I think there's a world where Sony says the MCU can't use Miles because they want to use Miles for their own universe. Okay, they are watching the Doomsday trailer. Which means, regardless, this trailer will likely leak. Now, again, I cannot watch if it does leak, I cannot show the leaked trailer here. All right, Downey is there. W. Robert Downey Jr. showing up. There's the Russos, there's Feige. All right. All right, he's there. Now, guys, again, just because they're watching the trailer doesn't mean that we will get the trailer, okay? Remember, it doesn't mean we will get the trailer. Set yourself up right now. Expect that the trailer for Avengers Doomsday will not be shown to us. Expect that it will not be released publicly. Because that is not unlikely in the slightest, all right? That being said, I will be refreshing the Marvel YouTube just to see. Doomsday right to their endgame. How? With Steve Rogers. So we know Steve Rogers is in it. Like kind of not right after Doomsday because he has a child, but you know it'll pick up after Doomsday with that, or after Endgame with that. It seems like Shang-Chi fights Gambit apparently in the trailer. Interesting. I mean, yeah, we did see photos of Simu Liu seemingly at the X Mansion. There's a bigger threat to Beyond it would make the most sense. Possibly. Guardians 3 trailer came out months after it was showcased. Yeah. RDJ is there. Is the other picture? He's in green suit. Yes, he is. Yeah, here he is. We saw him here. RDJ is there. RDJ is there. If you're saying we're getting it, we're not getting it. Yeah, everybody stay calm. Chris Evans is there. He was not on stage, but we did see pictures of him there. Yeah, he's for sure wearing a Doom shirt here. I love how much he's been into like posting Doom stuff, Doctor Doom stuff. Yeah, that's definitely Doctor Doom. It was a great trailer, not 30 seconds. It'd probably be a full trailer, like probably minute and a half, 2 minutes, if they do release it. Even a description will do at this point, but if it does come out, I will be so pleased. Yeah, there'll definitely be a description at the very least. Literally refreshing Marvel YouTuber now? No, for sure. Have to. Marvel doing a weird Infinity Vision gimmick to make up for no IMAX screen? Yeah, they are. I mean, like, they're trying. They're at least trying to make up for the lack of IMAX. Refresh. Nope, still nothing. Okay. Just released it. Everyone is going to watch at least one anyways. That is true. Assuming that one leaks, seeing as they did allow people to take pictures and videos of everything else, then it is more likely that it leaks. It's still not 100% that it does leak. I guess the trailer was good. I don't doubt it. It just says leak it now. Yeah. Someone take one for the team. Leak it. So excited, to be honest. Had no expectations. And I'm pleased we would get at least a description. Me too. So someone is going to leak. They should release. Well, let's read this first. The first trailer for Avengers Doomsday was just shown at CinemaCon. Thor fighting Doctor Doom and reuniting with Steve. Fire. Professor X watching an incursion. All right. Mystique turning into Yelena. All right. Well, that's not fuel the Gooners. And Shang-Chi and Gambit fight sequence. Sick. Well, here's the thing, too. Saying that someone's going to leak they should release, you're not wrong. But also, remember that the Avengers Infinity War trailer leaked from a convention, and they didn't release the official trailer till like 6 months after, if not longer. So, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for them to not release it. It all leads to Doom. Why won't they release it? Because they don't have to. Like, straight up. Like, it could be a combination of CGI might not be finished, and they don't have to. Like, they can wait until Comic-Con if need be to release this big trailer. And also, I mean, this is a convention for journalists and social media influencers and people in the industry, not fans. So, they're seeing the trailer again. Well, lucky them. Rub it in, why don't ya? Yeah, it's not for people in attendance. Doom 3 got a trailer already. To be fair, you could argue it necessitated releasing the trailer early so they could release those tickets for 70mm and people buy them right away. That way they lock in that they have leverage now over Doomsday in terms of the movie getting released. Release date changed, not. Do you think Marvel will give us anything today? Well, us? Maybe not. I think this, the description for the trailer, but the actual trailer, I'm not holding my breath. If not tonight, it was to release it in the next month at least. I don't know. Like, I think you guys might not be wrong about them wanting to release it with Mando or Odyssey or Brand New Day or whatever, but there's also a world where they do wait till Comic-Con. I don't know if that makes sense necessarily. I'm not saying I agree with that per se, but yeah, not impossible. Still underwhelming. I want to see more Doom. Hey, I mean, you know, bro twice talking about 4 he's not in love mood for sure. For sure. Definitely not jealous. Yeah. Staying up till 2 a.m. and not getting anything is so sad. That is unfortunate. But I did say that there's a possibility that it, you know, doesn't get released. Steve Rogers and Thor reunite in the Avengers Doomsday trailer. Thor says it's not possible until Steve reaches for Mjolnir and it leaves Thor's hand coming to his. W! Can't wait to see Cap wield Mjolnir again. Was the Avatar leak? The Avatar... I don't know if the whole movie, but the Avatar movie, a lot of it leaked the other day, which is really crazy. Doom has an accent in the trailer, apparently, which is nice to hear. Ooh, that is nice to hear. That is nice to hear. That's very nice to hear. That he doesn't just sound like straight Robert Downey Jr., straight Tony Stark. I always said they would release it at Comic-Con Hall H. Yeah, that was my gut feeling as well. Hey, man, it just means that y'all have to subscribe and make sure to tune in to that, that San Diego Comic-Con Hall H live stream that I'm doing to cover all the news from there. It'll be the exact same format as this, but for San Diego Comic-Con, those streams are always a blast every year. Those streams are always packed. Yeah, I mean, if there's no trailer here, you just gotta. It means you have to. I mean, I don't make the rules. I don't think, right? Refreshing Marvel to see Vanessa's sorry ass face. Give me the trailer for real, man. I'm refreshing. It's just the same like Kingpin face. Brother, so worthy flexing on Thor for real. I love it. My king, my glorious king, Steve Rogers. Watching the trailer twice. Okay, just get my dog again for real. We need a description instead of people just rubbing it in. Well, we got a little bit of a description. Thor fighting with Dr. Doom and reuniting with Steve, which we see here. Thor says it's not possible. Don't know what that's in reference to. Until Steve reaches for Mjolnir and it leaves Thor's hand coming to his. Professor X watching an incursion. Mystique turning into Yelena. And Shang-Chi and Gambit fight sequence. That's going to be so fire, bro. Shang-Chi and Gambit fighting. That's going to be so fire. I doubt they will release it today. We should expect it by this July at SDCC or maybe shown a Brand New Day. Yeah, see, and here's the thing too. SDCC is the weekend before Brand New Day. So it does kind of align to release it at Comic-Con and then attach it to Brand New Day the next week. Dr. Doom fights Thor and stops Stormbreaker with just one hand in Avengers Doomsday trailer. Oh, they ain't nerfing him. Hell yeah. He's got to be powerful, man. He's got to be scary and powerful. Him stopping Stormbreaker. I mean, that's what you got to do, right? They had to show somehow that Doom is a bigger threat than Thanos. What I thought was they should open the movie with Dr. Doom, you know, recreating that panel from the comics where Dr. Doom rips out Thanos' spine. But Stormbreaker, the weapon made to kill Thanos, right? If he just stops it with one hand, Hela style, there you go. That's also enough to show that, oh, Doom is no joke. Doom is no joke. Now, the last thing I need to know is confirmation that Doom has magic. Because I am tired of this weird-ass, like, lightning crap they've been doing with Doom in the movies. Give me Dr. Doom with some magic, please. I mean, you have to subscribe for my Hall H stream, huh? Preach, brother. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't make the rules, right? I don't make the rules. Choreography has to be insane. Dude, it has to be insane. Thor is dead, bro. He might be. So they ain't nerfing Doom? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be peak. Leak it might be trending. That would be so funny if that is trending. Thor is the only one saving the universe from Doom. Oh, yeah. Thor, Void, maybe, like Loki. Doom aura farming is going to be so hype. Oh, dude, for real. I didn't even think of that. Those Doom aura farming moments are going to go so hard, especially with the new cinematography style that Doomsday has. Oh, it's going to be peak. All 6 Infinity Stones couldn't even stop Stormbreaker, bro. Yeah, man. Like, that's just... See, that's just fundamentally good writing. Is just showing that this... Showing, not telling, that this new villain is more powerful than the previous. Doom flexing twice as hard. Hell yeah, he is. Doom stopping Stormbreaker is one of the must-see motions that he's gonna pull. He should just be aura farming the whole movie, like the opening of Marvel Ultimate Alliance. No, for real. For real. And you see Doom aura farming on the throne. Oh, you know, like, that's either gonna be the last shot of Doomsday or one of the first shots that we see in Secret Wars. Like, it's gotta be, bro. It's gotta be. Like, I honestly, now that you say it, I can see it now. The Avengers lose in Doomsday. Cut to Battle World. Everything is whatever Battle World looks like. And then we slow push in on Doctor Doom, on his throne, in that aura pose. The theme, Doom's theme swells. Cut to black. I see it now. I think we're cooking with that. I think we're cooking with that. Still nothing. They're waiting till SDCC to release it publicly. Man, with a fumble. I agree. Again, I don't think it's a fumble. This isn't out of the ordinary for them. This is exactly what happened with Avengers Infinity War. Like, I think pretty much exactly what happened. They showed the first trailer for Infinity War at Comic-Con just for people in attendance and didn't release it publicly until, what, 4, 5, 6 months later? Whenever it was. Does it show the full Avengers team? Doesn't say that. This description doesn't say that. Maybe they're watching a third time. Maybe they're watching a third time. Who would win the aura farming contest? Doomsday or Throg? Dude. I'm glad that I watched yesterday's episode of Invincible today before the stream to fully understand that question. Wow. Was Thrag aura farming like nobody's business? Right now, I'm gonna say Thrag. That dude was crazy. Bro, somebody posted the old Infinity War leak tagged with Doomsday. They got you. Damn. Bro got. Infinity War was shown a year before the movie came out. We are 8 months out from this. Yeah, that's not much of a difference, honestly. Like, they don't need to release a trailer now. Again, I don't mind if they would, but they don't need to. They can wait until Comic-Con. Marvel gets enough media juice just from fans reacting to a description of the trailer for a good minute. Yeah, no, genuinely. Oh my gosh, you guys were joking about the trailer. Oh, no, wait, is that... Oh, okay. I guess that just reset. Oh, no, sorry. I saw this out of the corner of my eye move. I thought it was this. The Fantastic Four and the new Avengers meet with Thor in the Avengers Tower in Avengers Doomsday. Interesting. The Fantastic Four and the new Avengers meet with Thor in the Avengers Tower in Avengers Doomsday. Thor remarks that Doom is the scariest threat he's ever seen. That's wild. To have Thor say that, that's wild. Bro, Invincible has been wild this season. Dude, it's been so good. It's so good. I love Invincible so much. It is my favorite superhero show. It is so freaking good, man. If anybody finds a Doomsday League trailer, guide me to it, y'all. Yeah, I mean, you know, if anybody knows where to find it, like, let us know. I can't show it on stream, but I can't control what everyone does after the stream. Hoping for a Daredevil movie someday? Me too. Just imagine Daredevil on the big screen if it were to happen. They gotta hire the people who did the Batman. Oh, man. Look, like a Daredevil movie in the style of the Batman, with that cinematography and whatnot, would be so peak. So peak. Back in 2020, there was a picture of a deleted scene from Endgame that was released. It was Doctor Strange and T'Challa, and it was them talking about future threats. Really? Perhaps that's one of the things that they add in the re-release here. Fascinating. That versus Thanos, who wins? Dude, I mean, I don't know. Like, if it's full Infinity War, if it's full, Infinity Stone Thanos, then it's got to be Thanos. But Throg? If Thanos isn't at the top of his game, Throg might cook him. Throg. Might cook him. Robert Downey Jr. is using an accent in his voice for Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday. His mask looks very similar to this. Yeah. Cool. Even Thor scared? Yeah, it raps. Dude, that Thor teaser of Thor praying is peak. Like, that's the Thor we're getting. Oh, man, that's going to be so great. They better not show it again. My dog can't get kicked 3 times, man. Just cruel. That would be cruel. That would be very cruel. Talk about rubbing it in. Dude, my brother Thor shocked. For real, man. For real. And Marvel is online on YouTube. Marvel is live on YouTube, but it's just the same Doomsday countdown till the release of Doomsday. Trailer has been streamed to Comic-Con. Tell me, bro. The trailer has not been streamed to Comic-Con. No. He's in Spider-Man Brand New Day, Daredevil. I hope so. It's not confirmed, but I mean, there is some evidence pointing towards it. I don't want to get my hopes up, but it's not impossible. Surprised they're holding on to this date. I still think they move eventually. Yeah, like I don't see any reason, unless like for logistical reasons they can't. Like, why not release it 2 weeks earlier to get some IMAX, like 2 weeks of IMAX? It's got to drop later. See, I don't see a reason to just drop it randomly though later. You know, like I feel like the Doomsday trailer has to is not the right word because Infinity War, I don't think it was, but I feel like with Doomsday, they're gonna drop it at a big event, right? It's gonna be a big event, and Comic-Con is the one that's is for the public. You know, this isn't a public event that anyone can just get a ticket to, right? Low-key Emperor Paul, for real. My goat Paul. Chris Evans came on stage. Okay. All right. Some guy will kick his dog for a 3rd time and they show the trailer again. Must say, I am intrigued. Oliver in season 4 is the embodiment of come on, man. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Is it out? It's unfortunately not out. Unfortunately, it's not out. They get saw twice. Lucky them. I guess it's definitely gonna leak. It's definitely gonna leak. EC Tron, they couldn't bring him. That's true. Yeah, him and W, it'd be over for Throg. They bring them in. Is the panel over? So far, it's not. Although it probably over any minute, since it's been roughly 2 hours since it started, which is when it was scheduled to however long it would be. You know. They're still so obsessed matching the Barbenheimer movement. It could bite them, and I don't know why they're so focused on it. I agree. Those 2 movies weren't hyped to the level of these 2. Yeah, and also Barbenheimer was something that like the fans did. Like that wasn't, as far as we're aware, something that the studios purposefully did. It just kind of became this thing bigger than themselves. And what made it so great was that there wasn't this overlapping audience initially between Barbie and Oppenheimer, but it caused there to be. And it helped both box offices. Whereas with Doomsday and Dune, there's a lot of crossover in the fan base, I feel. And while it's really fun and cool, the idea of going to see both on one day, you know, I feel like they'd make a little bit more money if they aren't on the same day. I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt either of them in a long run too much, you know? I don't think it's going to be a significant detriment to either one's box office, but I don't think it's going to be a benefit either. Prime Bra was legit crazy. Yeah. The one thing I'm hoping for DC to do is a Green Arrow movie in a similar style to the Batman, but more comic accurate, unlike the DCW version. He also needs a comic accurate suit. Yeah, I would say a little bit more of a lighter tone than the Batman, but and that's sort of like same visual style, a little more color, but yeah, I agree. That'd be really cool. Remember Holiday Stream when Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars got announced? It was so hype, dude. That was so hype, man. That was amazing. That was probably my best stream so far. It was huge, man. That was incredibly hype, and I'm so glad it was because so many people subscribe with that stream that have still, you know, stuck around since then, and it really means a lot to me, genuinely. Like I don't take it for granted. I really do appreciate it. Listening to the countdown as my white noise, right? Yeah, going to sleep to the Doomsday countdown trailer every night until the trailer's released. Thoughts of the Viltrumite purge beginning and ending scenes? Oh, it was fire. It was fire. I haven't read the comics, right? But I was watching my friend and he said that scene really wasn't fully shown in the comics, just kind of mentioned, and yeah, like the stylistic directing choices for Invincible this season especially has been really good. I'm really appreciating them. Hope they show the trailer. I hope so too, but it looks like they're probably not. Looks like they're probably not. Where's the trailer? Not releasing publicly. It was never confirmed that it was going to release publicly. I know a lot of people online on social media were saying it was going to when it never was confirmed that it was going to. Yeah. You were there for that stream? Well, I appreciate you being there for that stream, and I appreciate you still being here now. Genuinely, like I said, genuinely does mean a lot that you guys have stuck around, even though I haven't really posted on this channel consistently in a long time. But I do mean it when I say I plan to. I am working on videos. It's just, unfortunately, can't be my priority right now. But I'm hoping to slowly work on videos as I am able to slowly make them more and more a priority until eventually they can be my full priority. But that takes time, unfortunately. And I think, and for good reason, because the style of video that I want to make, I think it's going to be really good quality, especially as I make more and more of them and get better and better at it. But, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy to learn animation and 3D modeling and just churn out a video just like that. Doom got a comic accurate suit, comic accurate kinda accent, and he has Thor shocked. All good news tonight, folks, as far as I'm concerned. I agree. I mean, this description's kind of hype. Like, just the idea of, well, Steve Rogers wielding Mjolnir again, Steve Rogers and the Thor back on screen together, Shang-Chi and Gambit fight sequence. That's sick. Toby, Spider-Man, and Hughes Wolverine teaming up in Doomsday would break the internet if it does happen. I think that's more of a Secret Wars thing. I think Secret Wars, and I could be wrong. It's just my own kind of like gut instinct theory. But I think Secret Wars is Hughes Wolverine, Toby Spider-Man, RDJ's Iron Man, and maybe a few other people all teaming up and working together to solve all this. Apparently Scott and Cassie are also in the movie. Sweet. I think Scott was already announced, but Cassie wasn't. Dope. I have a feeling it could be released in the next few weeks. It could be. No, it totally could be. I think it'd be strange, though, to release it just randomly online one day. Or with, you know, like the Mando release, but not here. That'd be interesting. Come on, when Marvel showed the scene for Brand New Day, they released the posters. They have to give us something for Doomsday, bro. Well, I guess not, you know? Imagine they're losing against Doom and then Iron Man comes through a portal and saves them. Would be peak. That'd be a little too fan servicey, to be honest. I do think Iron Man, though, is in Secret Wars. I think he's gotta be. They're re-releasing Endgame with that Infinity Vision. Will include deleted scenes and some new surprises. I'm guessing end credit scene? Probably, yeah. It could be just like the first scene of Doomsday, perhaps. Like the full scene, maybe, of Steve Rogers walking up to his house. Disney shared what Infinity Division is. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's, is that, did they, on their Twitter, did they do that? Oh, they did. Sweet. Let's add this right now and read it. All right, just announced at CinemaCon, Infinity Vision, a new certification for premium large format theaters designated to signify to audiences the biggest, brightest, and most immersive cinematic experiences. Infinity Vision sets a new benchmark for theatrical presentation, certifying auditoriums that meet rigorous technical standards, including a focus on the largest screens for maximum scale, laser projection for superior brightness and clarity, premium audio formats for fully immersive sound. Beginning with the September 25th re-release of Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame, and followed by the December 18th release of Marvel Studios' Avengers Doomsday, audiences will be able to seek out Infinity Vision certified screens and see the film on the grandest possible scale. I mean, that's cool. You know? Like, this is neat, and I think this is good that there's something like this so people know, like, okay, what is the best screen I can possibly see these movies in? Like, that's a useful tool. But it is kind of like cope for them not having IMAX screens, right? Okay. So Cassie Lang will return at Avengers Doomsday, seen in the first trailer. So she's a character that was not announced in that stream. But it looks like someone said that Hollywood Handle has a clip of them talking. Yeah, so this film takes place where Endgame left off, but also goes back to when it all started with X-Men. Russo brothers on stage here. Mike Kings. Shang-Chi fighting Gambit. Thor and Captain America reuniting. Mystique transforming into Yelena. Thor fighting Doom. We're not ready, apparently. There's a scene in the Avengers Doomsday trailer where Thor tries to hit Dr. Doom with his Stormbreaker, and Doom effing holds it with his fingers. 2 fingers specifically. RDJ's epic entrance. Oh, that's copyrighted music. I think we just saw that earlier, just from a different angle. I don't see the clip of Hollywood Handle with RDJ and Chris Evans talking on stage. Oh, here's a picture of Chris Evans and RDJ reunite on the CinemaCon stage for Avengers Doomsday. My glorious king. Chris Evans. My glorious king. Chris Evans would be a doll and make them release the trailer for us publicly right now. If the MCU heroes had a purge, who would win? I mean, my initial instinct is Punisher, but I don't know. Like, I think that question goes deeper than just who would win. Like, who would participate in that specifically? I don't know. If Doom got an accent, he's not taking his mask off till the end. Yeah. I mean, that's actually a really good point. That's gonna be a big reveal then, because he doesn't sound like Tony. Yeah. No, good point. That, I don't say it confirms, but it gives more credence to the theory and rumor and speculation that he won't take his mask off in this movie or until the very end. It's not IMAX. It's just them kind of saying, "Hey, these are the best screens to see this movie in if you have access to them." IMAX likely being on there, but Disney won't be releasing IMAX, at least in America. You know what movie from Disney is releasing in a few weeks? Mando. They will put it with that. Yes, that's totally possible. That's totally possible. If that's the case, I don't see any reason though why they can't release it now and still release it with Mando. But unless they want to get people to see, that could be what it is, Donovan. That could be what it is. They want to release the trailer with Mando exclusively, and then maybe release it the next week to sell tickets. Try to sell tickets to Mando. That might be what it is. They might be wanting to release it with Mando to try to sell more tickets to Mando. Yeah. You know what? Can't even blame him for that. I can't even blame him for that. Spider-Man's reaction to seeing Tony as Doom will be dramatic. Oh, yes, it will. But here's the thing, too. Remember, no one remembers Peter Parker. So they're going to be like, why does this kid have this reaction to him? They wouldn't know. I hope that rumors will be true and Venom symbiote will appear in post-credit scene of Spider-Man. That'd be cool. I would love that. As long as it's not the exact iteration from the Venom movies and it's a little more comic accurate, that'd be cool with me. Or Jarvis controlling the suits. Honestly. A little too fanservice for my taste. I doubt any of the street-level heroes will appear in Secret Wars, as it's really more focused on the higher-level heroes. Spider-Man is street-level, but he has powers to go higher. Yeah, I think, if anything, it'll be... They'll have quick cameos as, like, workers on Battleworld, and then at the end... Like, my vision for the end of Secret Wars is just... We go around the MCU, go around this new world, and just kind of see where everyone's at. So, like, a quick cameo of what Daredevil's up to. You know, that Daredevil's still around, the Punisher might still be here, the Defenders and whatnot, right? Yeah, no major role, I don't think. Spider-Man might be on Doom's side. I don't know about that. I don't think Peter Parker would be on Doom's side. I don't think so. I think just because he looks like Tony doesn't mean that Spider-Man would be on Doom's side. They should be releasing all the Avengers movies. I don't disagree with you there, man. I would go see all of them. I would go see all of them for sure, but yeah, it seems like they're just doing Endgame, which is still fine. That's so cool. Infinity Vision, get it. No, I get it. We get it. Infinity Stones. Infinity Vision just looks like an off-brand IMAX. Look, is even similar. Yeah, no, it kind of does. Depends on Affleck in Civil War again. Well, yes, exactly. But Spider-Man was only on Iron Man's side because of Iron Man, and he was like 14, 15, so he didn't really think that much about it. I think Peter Parker now, as a mature adult, wouldn't just take this person that looks like Tony Stark's side. I think he'd look more objectively at it. But, I mean, it could still be interesting if he goes down that route. If there's a justification in the story for him to go to Doom's side, that could be interesting. But I don't think he's going to Doom's side just because he looks like Tony Stark. Yeah, Doom has an accent. He's not taking his mask off. Yeah, likely not for a little bit at least. Want to see Wanda come back, mainly whether that be Secret Wars or Doomsday? I think likely Secret Wars more so than Doomsday. So when do we get to see the trailer for Avengers Doomsday? Well, there's a lot of options right now. Where some people are throwing out maybe with Mandalorian and Grogu, which isn't a bad take at all. There's CinemaCon, which I think is where I'm leaning right now. San Diego Comic-Con in July. I think those are the two big options. Maybe for Odyssey a week before Comic-Con, perhaps. But I think between either on or between the Mandalorian and with the Mandalorian and Grogu and San Diego Comic-Con is my guess. So end of May to end of July. New Rockstars posted a description with a few new details about the trailer. All right. It's towards the end, so I can pull up New Rockstars real quick. Whoops. Nope. Okay. Let's add this and... Can you guys see that? Not really. Let's move this one over here so you guys can see it. Okay. Yes, the Avengers Doomsday trailer lives up to the hype. We saw a full 2-minute trailer. It holds nothing back. Professor X reacts to an explosion outside the window of the X Mansion. We hear Downey's accented voice as Victor warning of an impending doom and saying he'll need to make an unthinkable decision. We see Dr. Doom, armored with mask on, make a superhero landing in the courtyard of Mansion. Most of the action is in the X Mansion. Channing Tatum as Gambit fights Shang-Chi. Mystique shapeshifts into Yelena and fights the real Yelena. She just can't help but fight herself. Thor leads the Avengers in a speech to settle their differences. Ooh. We see Avengers Tower with a new Avengers logo and a new building shape. The desert landscape from the 4th teaser is actually the sea bottom with the ocean parted by Namor, Moses style, where the Fantastic Four meets the Wakandans. Thor, we need a miracle. Mjolnir goes into the hand of Steve Rogers, long hair. That's important, okay? I don't know if anyone else was kind of tuned into these. A couple months ago, a lot of like promotional images and behind the scenes images leaked for characters and like for the looks and costumes and outfits of characters for Doomsday. Steve had long hair. People were saying, was that all AI? Was that all fake? Those might have been real. Those might have been real. All right, just for the sake of copyright, gonna take that down. Mando does come out next month. I know. Tickets come out tomorrow, man. Tickets come out tomorrow. It's hype. Right now, the box office for Mando's not looking good. They will do everything to get people in theaters. I think it's looking fine. I don't know if it's not looking good. I could be wrong. Also, like, there's no... I haven't seen any projections. Not saying there aren't any projections. But yeah, I mean... It makes sense that they might want to do everything possible to get people into theaters, and releasing the Doomsday trailer exclusively with Mando, I think would do that. That's not a bad call. Unless he has the symbiote suit and Venom is siding with Doom. That's not a bad call either. Perhaps. That's a good call. That's a possibility. Imagine Doom kills Tom, then the symbiote crawls to him and he gets a symbiote in Secret Wars like the comic. That'd be hype. I am really hoping that Tom gets the symbiote suit in Secret Wars or Doomsday. That'd be fire. I think the panel is over, Hasm. I think you are safe to go to bed. It is late for you. Get some rest, man. I appreciate you being here. I'm gonna stick around the live stream for a little bit, as long as people are here chatting and talking for a little bit. But the panel is likely over. So again, like I said, I'll stay here for a little bit chatting with you guys as long as you guys are still here chatting. But for those of you who are going to leave, since now the panel seems over, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning into this live stream and also the one on Tuesday. For those of you who were there, I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I will be doing a live stream exactly like this for San Diego Comic-Con Hall H panel for Marvel, where that will be big and that will be fun and you will want to be there. But also for any possible panels that Warner Bros. And DC specifically might have, and then D23 as well in August. I'll do a live stream like this for that. I'm also going to be doing live streams to discuss new episodes of shows and movies. Now, ironically, this weekend I will not have a live stream discussing Daredevil. I thought next weekend I was busy, when actually this weekend I was busy. But next weekend I'll be doing a live stream discussing that next week's episode of Daredevil, and then Supergirl, Spider-Man, and so on and so forth, shows and movies. I'll do live streams for those. And also, like I said, I am working on videos in the background. I am planning to come back with videos consistently very soon, within the next couple months. So definitely stick around for that. If you guys are new and would like to subscribe and hit the bell so you do get notified and are aware of future live streams like this and videos when they are uploaded eventually, please feel free to do so. If not, no worries. I appreciate you being here in the first place, and I hope you guys have a great one. Like I said, I'll stick around for a bit here and chat with you guys for a little bit while there's still people here in chat. Thor's speech in the first Avengers Doomsday trailer. I fought many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together. They died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one. Cinema. What's that gif of the however people pronounce it, of the ink and quill on fire? That's the writing here. And like combine that with this dialogue of the prayer from this. Oh my dude, like this movie. I know those test screening reactions came out were saying it's the best Marvel movie and the best Marvel movie that the Russos have made. And like that's high praise, and like of course they're gonna say that, for marketing purposes. But guys, like it might just be true. Doomsday might just be the best Marvel movie. Obviously, we won't know until the movie's out. And like let's go into Doomsday without any expectations, so we experience it for what it is, not what we expect for it to be. But like the visuals, it's like look at the visuals here. Like that's just Marvel doesn't look like this. Like this is new for Marvel to have a cinematography. I know Thunderbolts and Wonder Man like had cinematography, but like, this looks gorgeous. This writing is fire. This might just be peak, guys. This might just be absolute cinema. As Cooper Ghost is saying, Martin Scorsese might just approve of Doomsday. He might just approve of Avengers Doomsday. The rumor is Spider-Man will die in the upcoming movie and Venom will bring him back from the grave. That's crazy if that's true. That is crazy. I'm for that if that happens, but that would be wild. All right, I'm going to switch back to this screen here. And if anything other comes out from those Twitter feeds, I'll switch right back. But just I think it's a better viewing experience for you guys as we wind down and chat. Yeah. Like when we saw all those street level heroes in X-Men 97. Exactly, actually, kind of exactly. Yeah, you just kind of go through the MCU world in this final like end movie epilogue montage to just kind of establish where everyone's at. Like you're not setting anything up really. And I think it'll kind of act as this sort of like a setup for the future while also being its own conclusion, right? Like an ending where you understand that these heroes exist and will keep going and keep protecting people and keep fighting, but theoretically, they don't need to make another one. They're not setting anything up. I think that's what the ending of Doomsday is going to... Secret Wars is going to be. That's kind of what the ending of Secret Wars is. Not Secret Wars, sorry. Then you have Endgame is, right? We go around, we see where everyone's going, what they're doing, and we know that they're all going to be okay. They're all going to continue to fight, right? And continue to live their lives and help people. And it ends on this kind of hopeful note with Steve Rogers and Peggy dancing that hopefully does not get ruined by this. It's literally my one concern. I am so excited that Chris Evans and Haley Atwell are back for Doomsday. I'm so excited that Steve Rogers is back. Like, literally, I love Steve Rogers. Chris Evans, Steve Rogers is one of my favorite characters of all time. genuinely. So like I am over the moon excited. My only concern is, and this really isn't a massive concern because it's one of the same writers and the same directors, so like I doubt this would happen, but my only real concern is that they end up retroactively ruining the ending of Endgame, because I think Steve Rogers' ending in Endgame is one of the best endings for any character ever. Like it's such a deserved ending that has been set up since the very first Captain America movie, and it was paid off so well. It really was. It makes me emotional every time I see it. Really, the panel is still going though, at least from my understanding. It seems like it's over. Typically they would say that it's done, but it seems like it's over. Again, if any other news comes out, I will switch back to that feed, but it seems like it's over. Rage Wolf, hi, how are you? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Does anyone know if the new trailer will be released? Probably not. The new trailer was not released. I don't think there is any reason for it to be released at this point in time, so likely not. Remember when people were comparing Grant Gustin's The Flash to Andrew Garfield's The Spider-Man? I mean, I do see the similarities. The both versions were a lot more grounded and serious. Yeah, in a way. In a way. They work well together, too. They're not dissimilar comparisons. Whoever posted the interaction between Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. deleted it. Ah, gotcha. I just like how Disney released the final trailer for Star Wars, but not the official trailer for Marvel. Well, to be fair, Mando comes out in a month, and tickets release tomorrow. Doomsday doesn't release for another 8 months. So the long hair Steve picture real. They might be real, bro. Those pictures might be real. If Sadie Sink is returning for Secret Wars, I can already feel it's Jean Grey that's going to be in Brand New Day. Spider-Man Brand New Day is really the film that will set up MCU X-Men. Yeah, it feels like it. I think she's good casting for Jean Grey as well. It's just a head scratcher. Why introduce them at all before Secret Wars? Like, again, I think probably the last shot of Secret Wars is probably a mirror image to the last shot. Again, this is just speculation. That's like fun speculation, but what I was talking about earlier with the aura farming moment of Doom on the throne, like I'm speculating the last shot of Doomsday is a slow push in aura farm on Doom sitting on his throne in Battleworld. So I think a nice parallel to that would be the end of Secret Wars being this slow parallel, like almost comic book-esque, painterly-esque shot of the new X-Men team, the new MCU X-Men team, as a sort of like, this is the new blood. This is the new fresh blood, the fresh hope for the MCU moving forward. But it's strange. Like, why Brand New Day introduce her and just not wait until then? The leaked Doom images also match the promotional images used tonight. The belt and mask are exact match, so it seems those leaks were legit. Well, to be fair, this look at Doom was also used at previous conventions prior to those leaks coming out, so it was still possible that those leaks were AI, perhaps, but I mean, if Steve has long hair in those and he has long hair here, maybe they weren't. Question, if you could be any Marvel character, who would I be? If I could be any Marvel character, who would I be? Does Mystique have a love interest? If I was any Marvel character, I would probably be... I don't know. I feel like a lot of Marvel characters, like, don't have great lives. I think Steve Rogers. I think for me, it would have to be Steve Rogers, though. Thoughts on Thor finally being killed in Doomsday? First time Loki lives past Thor. I think if Thor dies in Doomsday, he'll be brought back in Secret Wars and or post Secret Wars. We know that they want to do Thor 5, and I think if Thor dies in Doomsday, they had to at least reunite Loki and Thor first. I don't think it's impossible, though. I think there's also a chance that, Thor 5 could be a fun or an interesting, like, Valhalla afterlife movie, which could be interesting. If Thor 5 wasn't already, like, not announced, but talked about in interviews and whatnot, he would be a prime candidate for me. To die in Doomsday. It's an okay shot. I think it's like 50-50, perhaps. Yeah, I'd be Steve Rogers, I think. Any Return of Jedi too? Oh yeah, duh. that's probably what I'm subconsciously referring to, honestly, in my head. That is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Return of the Jedi. Yeah, exactly. Actually, now that you bring it up, yeah, I think the last shot of Secret Wars will be pretty much the last shot of Return of the Jedi, just with the X-Men, the new MCU X-Men, the new cast, the new team. And I think that'd be great. I think that, like, even thinking about it gives me chills, but also gives me this, like, warm feeling inside. You know, like this weird, warm, hopeful feeling. I don't know if that makes sense. Is that weird? It's just like that image, that thought, that feeling of the MCU now has at that time, now has the X-Men. Right? Like, we're getting new X-Men, comic accurate, hopefully X-Men within a larger Marvel world. And we can trust that the people working on it understand the characters and will make this movie really good. And that just makes me smile. You know? That just makes me smile. You think with Secret Wars we are getting another end sequence with the signatures of all the actors and one last epic ending? I don't know. It's a good question. I could see it being something similar to the end of Deadpool Wolverine, maybe, with like all the behind the scenes. It could be something. I think what could be really cool is if it's just a bunch of bloopers from over the years and behind. Yeah, I think I would prefer something similar to the end of Deadpool Wolverine, where they showed a bunch of behind the scenes clips of the X-Men movies over the years. I think something like that more so, because then that would be so many characters for Secret Wars to do that with. Whereas, the clips you could have, I think more fun with. Over the panel, I believe is over. Yeah, Azazel. Oh, Azazel. Right. Azazel and Mystique had Nightcrawler together. That is true. I mean, would I be Azazel for that reason? I don't know. I don't care about Avengers Doomsday. Just give us the new X-Men reboot. Well, it's still a little while away. I think Doomsday is going to be great, though. I think you should care about it. I think it's going to be a really, really great time. More than a great time. It sounds like it's going to be a really just well-made movie. Which is hype. Which is extremely hype. All right, y'all. I think that's where I'm going to have to call it for the night. Again, I really do appreciate every one of you guys tuning in here. People who have been here before, people who have been here for the first time. I really do appreciate every single one of you tuning in here and watching and chatting. All the new subscribers today, I genuinely appreciate it. I hope you guys stick around and subscribe. Yeah, for you new guys, I do live streams for these big convention panels. I'm going to do another one for Comic-Con in July for both Marvel and DC. For one in August for D23 for Marvel. And I'll do one typically for the new episodes of shows and movies. Ironically, this coming weekend, I'm busy, so I'm not going to do a live stream for this week's Daredevil. But next week, I'll do another one for next week's episode of Daredevil to discuss. And yeah, I am working on videos. I plan on releasing videos very soon, relatively speaking, within the next couple months. And they're going to be good. They are going to be good. They're going to be high quality. They're going to be like videos you haven't really seen before in this niche. And I'm excited for it. I think people will really like it. So, yeah, exactly, the cover. Yeah, hot take maybe cover band man. I don't want to watch a 30-minute actor signature sequence. That just might be me, though. That just might be me. I could be hot take, perhaps. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. And I hope to see you all again in the next stream and or videos. I hope you guys do end up sticking around and bearing with me, as my upload schedule is pretty spare between now and when I'm back fully. But yeah, guys, thank you again for everything. I really do appreciate it. A wonderful day, a wonderful week, wonderful few months, perhaps. Thank you so much for watching. And remember to be punk rock.